Welcome to Wake the Farm Up, Maintaining Ground podcast. Live show at RoseNSal's, Yellow Springs, Ohio, July 7th, 2023. Woo, I'm getting these out of here finally. Yep, catch it up, y'all. Remember to support the show. That's right, subscribe and share and all that stuff. Some people find an oracle. Hey, keep it serious enough, though, that you can learn some incredible things about nature, humanity, and with a permaculture hydro dip on a sour twist of comedy, musical celebration of the Hope's Day preppers. Wake the Farm Up, brought to you by Elves and Birds.
Sound guy, sound dancer recommends prior to my engagement moving on for just a moment for us to do a sound check on the mics. Does everyone feel okay? Liz, did you check a mic? Please.
Checking in. Yeah, feeling good. Sounds
good. Farm Up, broadcasting live from RoseNSal, the coolest vintage shop in the world. Located in beautiful downtown Yellow Springs. What's up, Yellow Springs? Say hey. Say thank you to RoseNSal, the coolest vintage shop in the world, for hosting us here. We're going to get Mike Bell from RoseNSal's up here in just a minute. We got a fun show going. We got the whole Podsquad, squatting it out here. Welcome Liz Virgo.
What's up?
Welcome Stefan 101. Yeah, we got some fun music coming up here tonight too. We got Sarah Gorak with a multi-instrumental loop coming in here. We got Mushroom Mike coming up, Guided by Mushrooms. So, if you haven't been guided by mushrooms in your life at this point, aside from like the mushrooms that you might find at the buffet place in their salad bar, those little button mushrooms, they're squishy and cute and fun and stuff, but there's so much more. We're gonna get guided. We're gonna get you guided by mushrooms by the end of this day. I know it's like we're down at Yellow Springs. There's amazing mushrooms growing in the forest around here. I look forward to checking them out, and the moss too. So I'm really getting into moss right now. There's like so many different species, and just once you get to a certain place where you're walking through the forest and you recognize a lot of the plants, it's really easy to focus in on learning the mosses. Just like zoom in on them because you have these relationships with the plants already. So it's like, hey, there's all these different species right here. And you look into it more and more, there's not that many people that are moss experts. And it's like, hey, if I'm called into that, thank you very much.
Yeah,
So,
walking through the woods with you is a trip. I feel like a couple times we went into the woods and I'm all in my own head talking, and it's like Ande just is zoned into everything around him. And takes whoever he's with there very quickly as well. I'm like, oh right, all that other crap doesn't matter. Like, let's focus on what's here, what's now.
Yeah, it's right. Right now, there's a lot of magic happening. It's amazing how many different plants I didn't know coming up here. How many different cool plants we're getting to be at this live recording. So it's been known on the Wake the Farm Up show. We've recorded with plants that hook up to these little devices, and we have conversations with them. And we'll be doing that again. There's one tree that we talked to that was a clone off of 3,000-year-old sequoia tree. It's a pretty fascinating episode. You'll check that out with the Ancient Tree Archive. Yeah. Let's take a minute to acknowledge our host here. You want to jump on the mic? Let's welcome Mike Bell here.
Hey, this is Mike Bell from RoseNSal.
Welcome, Mike. Thanks for being here.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us here.
Coming out. We do so many community events here. RoseNSal really started in 2017.
Okay.
And the conception of it, inception, I guess I should say. And we rented a warehouse, and we had the concept of having a vintage shop, and we didn't have the space yet. And fortunately, end of 2017, this space became available, and the landlord approached us.
I'm going to put the mic off. I want to make sure everybody can hear
Absolutely.
what you're sharing. So the landlord actually approached you guys.
Yeah, he just loved our stuff because he saw some of our setups we were doing. We were doing online sales and setting up vignettes to take pictures, of all the cool vintage stuff we got.
Yeah, so to describe it for our audio listeners in other parts of the world, this shop is one of those places that you walk in and there's just little mysterious curiosities everywhere of all different sizes. Everything's got an exchangeable price on it too, which is really fun. And I think a lot of stuff's 30% off today.
Absolutely, we're having a huge sale.
It's like a Wake the Farm Up special out here in the next 3 hours. Look at all these things, 30% off.
It's incredible.
Just think about what you could do with those savings, So there's this fine coffee table here. Look at this thing. Right now it's being sported and decorated with rabbit fur and reishi mushrooms and a boar skull. Yeah, it's a boar skull, and
What
there's
is
a
that?
coyote skin there, Why is that?
What? No, I said, what is that? A boar skull?
Yeah, a boar, like a warthog.
Oh, a boar skull. Okay, a boar skull. Got it. I was like, is there there's creatures I don't even know about? This elf is schooling me.
Yeah, look at this warthog too. It's got moss for eyes. That's kind of why I wanted to bring it, because I wanted to bring some moss, just to make sure there's some moss hanging out.
Because you're obsessed.
Yeah. But anyway, I think all the decor that they have in the shop here would, the only thing that would make any of it, any better would be some moss, honestly. Moss, just a little decor of some moss on some of these pieces in here. I bet you
Obviously,
could,
that's what's missing.
you could probably charge 30% more and people would be happy about it.
Listen, I love moss. I think it's one of the cutest plants you could ever see.
Yeah.
Or how many of the cutest plants you could ever see. How many species?
They're
Oh my
so
God.
tiny. So tiny. They have wonderful names like fairy wands, and emerald sword, and
Oh,
yeah, there's one it's a taxonomical name is even seductress.
nice.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
So yeah, tell us more. Tell us, Moss, about the vintage store here. We got incredible artwork here. I know as an event space, Mike's been telling me some amazing stories of different things that have come through here. One that I was kind of chuckled at was Bill Murray sang a song right where we are right now.
Absolutely. We always conceived that we would use our backyard for events. Even back in 2018, we have an article in the paper here and talks about how we're going to be doing live events and all that stuff. And it really came to fruition in 2020 when kind of COVID hit, and Fred Ande approached us. He was working with Dave's crew here at the summer camp.
So not everybody in the whole world might be totally familiar when you say Dave.
Dave Chappelle, sorry.
No, you're good. Dave's
He's a
just not
local
here right
resident
now.
here in Yellow Springs. He's been to the shop a lot. He says we're his favorite store in town.
That's
So
awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
I think it's fascinating. So Dave Chappelle loves this cute little country town in Ohio called Yellow Springs. It has a sulfur spring. And I'm intrigued what allured him to this place originally. I'd love to find that out someday. But I got my own, I love coming up with my own conspiracy theories. I don't know, there's a lot to be said about Yellow Springs and the comedian world. I do come from that country of comedia, and I can find a lot of really funny reasons why people would be into Yellow Springs. Starting with, it's I'm kind of like a wild creature, and I'm looking forward to doing this rooftop farm project out in Brooklyn, not long from the end of July here, and just the kind of creature I am when I have to go to the bathroom in the middle of gardening. I run to the edge of the garden where there's wild things, and I don't go where the lettuce is, of course, And then I wash my hands and come back to it, right? So it's I don't know, it's if you're on a rooftop garden, you run to the edge of it, it's sprinkling down the side of the building. That's crazy, but it kind of sounds like some kind of biodynamic prep when it's coming from an elf, So it's just kind of one of those weird things. So I don't know, it just led me to this whole thing, thinking about Yellow Springs and golden showers and different things like that, and comedy and the different things that come up with that. Do you think that's my conspiracy? Maybe he's really into that.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It just really took us on a journey there. Oh.
Well, I don't know. I'm wearing, just in the theme, we are getting into mushrooms in our show today. And I don't know if you know what I mean by that, but we're definitely going to be guided by mushrooms. I don't know if you know what I mean by that yet either. But,
No.
I'm wearing my golden teacher hat. I don't know. That's what it looks like, a golden teacher mushroom, and so that's just all in the theme
I
of
picked
things
up
right
that
now. Yellow
hat.
Springs. Yeah, you did help me pick up that hat.
Summer camp. Check out our summer camp episodes.
I think it's a golden teacher, but I can't get a spore print since it's just embroidery. So it's a good hat. It's not vintage yet though, but the pin on it looks like it, and that's why the pin wanted to come. It's a nice pin that I got from Cheese In for Life. He made 100 of them, and he handed them out to some friends, and I luckily got number 69. Isn't that cool? So Mike, working with vintage things, like when you can find out like some vintage piece that has like a little thing carved on the bottom of it, or something that tells like a little bit more of its story, like can you share with us some of the fascinating things like that you've come across in this like treasure trove of collecting and exchanging this energy around?
Well, we're all about the story and the history of the item. We're known for just our extensive research and putting it in historical context. And a lot of people find their passion for collecting collectibles and antiques at RoseNSal because we just make it so accessible to people. I mean, there's so many stories, so many things we've come across. I love our radios. We ran into a collector who was moving to Florida, and he was just unloading all his radios. So we've had hundreds of radios through here. Fantastic tube radios, you know, stuff that people don't really see every day.
Yes. Lots of good stuff. I also noticed that y'all seem to have an inclination towards African collectible items too. I saw lots of statues and clothing, and it seems specifically from Ghana.
Absolutely. We're so international. We actually have Chimera Imports is an importer that displays in our store, and that's where probably like 50% of our African stuff comes from. But we've always been international, and we just love sharing the culture of the world with everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, we're here getting to share you to the world a little bit right now. You know, people get to hear about RoseNSal's, you know, anywhere they are, you know, for the next 500 years, as long as this podcast is out on the internet's around, you know, it's probably one of the few good things that the internet's out there for. You know, the internet's a tool, you know, you gotta use it in good ways, and here's a good thing for you, you know.
Absolutely. It's tough being the coolest vintage shop in the world, but we work hard to make it happen. We work hard to make that happen.
It is very cool. It is excellent. I'm sure I'm going to leave with something unavoidable.
So do you have any, do you come across, being in a rural area-ish, do you guys come across any interesting old farm implements or tools that can actually be used for something still?
Sometimes we don't really concentrate on primitives, is what they're called in the industry, like old rusty stuff. But 75% of our business is consignment, and so people are just bringing this stuff to us left and right. Yeah. I mean, we're choosing the style. We have a fashion coordinator for our clothing section.
I didn't even get into the clothing.
Yeah, we have a full clothing department called Garment Boutique. Whoa. We call it our closet. So you got to check it out. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I'm going to go in there, and then I'm going to come out of it. I bet there's going to be some sweet fashion in there that I'll want to wear for doing some of these live show recordings.
Absolutely. You know, we're the only store in Yellow Springs that carries traditional men's clothing, like pants and jeans and regular T-shirts.
Have you ever thought, this is like a farmer idea, you mentioned jeans, people are really into the jeans with holes in them. What if you started some kind of program in your closet where farmers could bring their old jeans, put them on consignment for $80, $90, and then they could get a new pair of jeans that don't have holes in them.
Right.
But people can get the jeans that have holes in them with a little card with the farmer's picture and the story of how the holes got made.
I love that. Oh my God, genuinely, you could pay, and they're super rare, and it takes years for those holes to get there, so they're top dollar.
Yeah. It's like that primitive stuff, some rusty things just look so cool. It takes years. You can't just fabricate certain art,
There's no hole, there's no other holes that are in those exact places. That's amazing.
Yeah, a lot of times it's in the knees. I've been checking my gardener knees and different knees in there, and they rub off there.
I'm so pumped, and also I'm all excited from the yoga perspective of we all have different bodies, so each farmer is going to produce a different hole. Their knee's going to hit it just a little bit differently.
Yeah, just a little different wear and tear.
Oh
They
man.
use different laundry detergents and all
I'm
that
gonna
kind
invest
of stuff.
in this.
Yeah.
I won't have time for the show anymore. I'll be out soliciting farmers for their jeans.
Wow. He wants to tell us, I think Mike wants to tell us a little bit more about some of the events.
Yes.
We haven't
please
really
do.
got, I know we've alluded to it a couple of times, but then we go off on these really crazy tangents, Liz. I don't know what's going on, but it's amazing. I'm enjoying it. Should we talk about Moss? No, let's go. Let's talk about more about the events. Have you ever had a Moss event here? Maybe we should do a Moss event here. I think that people would like that, especially with these trails around here. You can walk right down to the Glen or to the springs from here, right?
Absolutely. The Glen, they call it, that's where the yellow spring, where it's spewing out water, is. And it's just, maybe 150 feet from here or something. It's fantastic. People love hitting the Glen and just enjoying, nature. And there's a beaver in there now that built a huge beaver dam. And instead of taking the beaver dam down like in years past, they let them go this year. And so they've just been working around them and adding boardwalks.
Nice.
So it's really a magical place to go down in the valley. And there's a huge beaver lake down there now where it used to just be, a stream cutting through there.
Now it's like backed up and you get
Oh,
to the
absolutely. For like thousands of feet backed up. Absolutely.
wetlands. See, I need to walk through that. I love wetlands and I work in wetlands a lot. And there's something about watching a beaver change the landscape. It's fascinating with a lot of the fires. There's all these forest fires out there in the world. And I remember reading a study on the forest fires in Colorado 3-4 years ago that there was areas where the forest didn't burn, and in those areas there was a lot of active beaver because they built up the water in the soil. They built up the natural water systems. And
The water table, lifting that water table is crucial, especially out west.
if only they like to work with humans more in our modern societal structures, if the beavers could work with forms and the different property lines and work with different agreements like that, people would probably appreciate them more. But in the meantime, on the other side, if humans would not be so attached to all the borders being this way or that way, or being so conservative that that's not a wetland so it shouldn't ever be, because things just keep changing. Beavers turn things into a wetland for a period of time and then they fill back in and turn into something else. It's like if we could be more adaptable in more ways like that, it's amazing what service the beaver can offer our greater ecosystem. So thank you, Yellow Springs, for supporting the local beaver. Let's hear it for
right.
Yellow Springs on that. I'm eager to check in. Well, do you have any other parting words? We might get you to get back up here. We're going to be jamming it out in your shop here for a while.
Yeah, it sounds great, man. We've had over 50 free concerts here, and we host the second Saturday art market every Saturday during the warmer months, which is about 8 months here in Yellow Springs, Ohio. And so the RoseNSal second Saturday art market is tomorrow, July 8th, from 12 to 5. And we've just been giving back to the community, hardcore ever since we've gotten this space and had the opportunity to share this wonderful area.
Oh, that just got me there. Wake the farm up.
Yes.
Let's give Mike Bell Wake the Farm Up. 1, 2, 3. Farm up. Thank you. They're going
you,
crazy.
Mike.
Look, there's like people throwing vintage furniture everywhere. They need one of those big inflatables here to support that kind of happening. More helmets.
You break it, you bought it.
Right.
There you go. We got some big sales going right now. Look at all that broken stuff. We're having a good time. Yeah. But yeah, no, if you want to get down here and check out this shop, it definitely is the coolest vintage shop in the world, and I haven't even seen the closet yet. So how you feeling over here, Stephen 101?
Feeling good, my king. How you doing?
Hey, you hearing about this musical little trickster coming up in here with like 4 arms and they play 4 instruments or something like that? Like how many arms? Like how can somebody play all these new instruments? What?
Oh, I've heard stories. Enhance the message here, man. Where we at?
I don't know. Like I've been joining this Dr. Bionic and some Stephen 101 like maybe we need to bring some little fresh flavor into the Podsquad soundtrack.
Fresh.
A little fresh. You feeling it, Sarah? You feeling it, Sarah Gorak? Yeah. Let's talk with Sarah for a minute here.
Sarah, I'm pretty sure.
Do you want to do the sands of time and give us
Let's do it.
2 minute thing?
I think I've seen you at the Northside Farmers Market perform.
Oh.
Maybe. I think I recognize your name because of the Siriamani squad, too. Or maybe Price Hill things.
I'm not sure if you know about our 2-minute sand dial here, but
That is a pretty sundial.
we're going to give you 2 minutes.
It was forged by the elves of 3 nations, and the glass was blown in the mountains of Falconry by the dwarves. And the sand is actually dried up grains of the Jorgenlander, the
giant snake at the bottom, and then you get Grazzle's trees eggshells after they cracked. And then once they cracked, we ground them up into this fine powder, and then it's calibrated exactly 2 minutes digital.
Nice.
So,
That snake does love mice. Wait, you said nice.
Nice.
so you get 2 minutes.
Okay.
Give us your story.
Okay, so I was born in Hawaii, but I grew up most of my life in Seattle, Washington. And I ended up relocating to Cincinnati in 2013 because my husband was going to grad school at the University of Cincinnati. And so with that comes a lot because, I represent Asian Pacific Islander culture, and I think that incorporating indigenous culture is really important. So I do that with my music because actually my degree is in music education, my bachelor's. But part of my experience as a teacher was realizing I need to practice what I preach. And if I'm encouraging my students to discover their musical voice, I have to do that too. And that's what inspired me to become a songwriter and writing my own songs. But I also play, my main instrument's violin. That's the primary instrument I started on. And I play a bunch of different styles like bluegrass, hip hop, country, folk, you name it. But some of that didn't happen until after I graduated and realized I didn't want to be in a classical box, and I didn't feel like that was for me. And so that was part of my journey to, I guess, my brand or whatever. So that's so my whole catchphrase is to remember how to spell my last name is Gorak, let go random acts of kindness, because I like to spread aloha everywhere I go. And that's kind of the whole thing. Oh, I guess I still got time. Yeah.
I love it.
That's kind of, that's it in a nutshell. That's most of it.
Well, aloha. Thank you. Wake the farm up.
Wake the farm up!
Awesome. So that's great. So you've been in Cincinnati about a decade now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very cool. And I'm excited to hear you play again. So what's this with the forearms? What other instruments do you play? The violin's your main thing?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Well, so again, as part of the music teacher route is you have to kind of learn all the instruments, and that's what kind of gave me the bug of becoming a multi-instrumentalist. And that was kind of because when I finished my degree, I was super burnt out on violin, and I almost was I don't want to touch this instrument anymore. So the way I inspired myself again, besides teaching, was learning other instruments and learning other styles of music.
Nice.
So I also play cello, ukulele, guitar, piano. I teach piano. It's kind of whatever I get my hands on.
Right.
People end up letting me foster instruments or adopt weird instruments because I'm the person who will figure it out.
That's awesome.
I gotta connect you with my homie, the MIDI boss up in Michigan. He makes instruments. He takes some kind of MIDI computer out of a keyboard or whatever, and he can put it inside of a PlayStation controller, and then also they have this instrument where the buttons are
I love that kind of stuff. That's
He does all different, that's just one example, He creates all different custom things. It's really fascinating.
Yeah.
He's been a part of the Pod Squad and doing sound with us, so I had to shout out MIDI Boss.
Nice.
Awesome.
I gotta go follow that now.
Very cool.
Yeah, walk along.
So how old are most of your students?
Oh, I mean, I teach as young as 3 and as old as retired. So, yeah, a little bit of everybody.
Very cool.
You have
Kids and kids at heart is what I like to say. Because I love teaching beginners.
Cool. I like that. What do you find inspiring for yourself working with beginners?
It's just like how, I don't know, when you start learning something, I don't know, there's just that eagerness to discover new things. But also, like, for me and my nurturing teacher self, like, I like being able to counsel them when they hit that moment of like, oh, this is harder than I thought it was gonna be. And then I know how to encourage them because I'm like, yo, I've been there and understand how it sucks. Because I even quit orchestra at first because I got too frustrated. And so like I can sympathize with what they're going through. And then we have that kind of moment, having that like trust built where they have like a moment where they keep going and see it through and like kind of overcome it and see like, oh, this wasn't actually as hard as I thought because I was able to help them. And that's what I love about teaching.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah, I like that. Like, I know teaching plants for decades now, how I've noticed a lot of what I've learned has been from beginners who walk out in the forest with me and they don't hold back. They're just like, I know this about this plant. I don't know anything else. And I didn't know that. And so it's like this new thing for me to learn something, and then I'll share like 20 other things with them about plants or whatever. But just picking up and absorbing these things from beginners.
They just have a different perspective. They'll see things different.
Yeah.
Like even my students, when I was teaching them the other day, like I was inspired by them when I just let them like free improvise. Actually, I didn't even encourage it. They just felt, I don't know, something was in the mood that they wanted to just make their own songs up. And I didn't tell them what to do. I just let them kind of free explore. And there was some cool stuff that happened that I'm like, look at you doing this when I didn't even tell you what to do just because I allowed you the space to play.
Find it and feel it. That excitement, coming into something and discovering it.
So I'm wondering, you said you quit orchestra at first, and then what made you try it again?
Oh, well, some of it was like, I guess I needed kind of more like one-on-one attention. So like my mom was encouraging me, like, don't give it all the way up yet. Maybe you just need private lessons. And then so I went and did private lessons for a couple years. And then I had a teacher who was like, you really should consider going back and playing in school orchestra again. And then I did, and I made like my like friends for life kind of people, and like found the community of music, because that was the thing I think is like, and what I encourage a lot of my encourage everybody is like, sometimes you can only do so much alone, and finding community and kind of like a bigger picture of what you can do with your music or whatever it is you're passionate about. Like you can only do so much by yourself.
Yeah.
It's really about finding other people who like vibe with that, and then that's where magic starts happening, and you can connect the dots with what you're learning.
Yeah, wake the farm up.
Wake the farm up.
That's great. Yeah, as a parent, I feel like I'm always like kind of grappling. Well, I'm always planning to grapple with, because my kids are kind of young, but with that sensation of like giving up on something because it's harder, and then like, when is it okay to give up, and when is it like you just had a little bit more time, maybe a little individual attention, then you could really get over that hump. And
But it's also like just a lot of mental blocks we give ourselves. And that's why I love beginners, because like, what if we weren't given those blocks at first? So I love trying to inspire them before those blocks come.
Well, you might be able to identify different blocks. They might show up as different patterns in beginners, and be able to identify it from your experience working with different beginners, and then be able to see where you can encourage them past their particular blocks. I imagine everybody has different blocks with everything, right? So, yeah, and just trying to make yourself humble too. I like to make myself as humble as I can, and not be like, it took this long to get what I've got, and you have to take that long too. Because No, some people learn things really quickly. We all learn things differently, different backgrounds. Yeah.
Well, and it's also too like with my own personal growth of recognizing like the blocks or those things, like they're those like what can we learn from that?
Yeah.
Like the so-called bad things or whatever we think is like, you know,
Hold me back.
yeah, those type of things or trauma or whatever you want to call it. Like there's things that it's trying to teach us, and that's why it's blocking us. And sometimes it's blocking us because it wants us to take the time to see what we can learn from it, and sometimes we don't take the time to face it because it's uncomfortable, or there could be legitimate hurt like behind some of those blocks. But again, there's normally reason it's blocking you because it wants you to learn from it.
Right, and then figure out a new way to move past it, or to carry it with you and just make it part of your sound, or make it part of your garden.
Right.
However it's
Your
eliminated.
recipe. Like that's kind of what I tell people is like learning music's like making recipes. It's like, you know, everybody's got their like specific chili or cookie or whatever
Or
recipe.
I don't eat TVP or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
like, but
many
you know, because there's like, you know, your standard recipe, like, but like what makes the recipe special is like you spicing it up and making it your own. Like, because it's like, you know, we all have our influences and things we need to like have our groundwork from. But the magic is like taking the groundwork and evolving it into your thing.
That's like what I'm doing with this vintage furniture. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna take it, and like some of these chairs have these really cool nooks in it, and I can stick some moss in it, right? So I'm taking something that's vintage and I'm like I'm adding my own recipe to it, right? And you can do that with a lot of things. So one thing I wanted to steer into the conversation, just like some of your inspiration, maybe
Sure.
music that you find from nature and your connection with that, perhaps. I know you play at farmers markets
Yeah.
and support the community, growing our local food.
Yeah.
You and I have discussed in the past, the audio listeners have discussed this with us as well, that connection of music and food and that base of humanity. So I'd love to hear like that connection.
Yeah, and it's funny you mention that
Aloha.
because I'm like flying to Colorado on Wednesday to fiddle camp, and it's like, and it's one of those things where it's exactly what you said. It's like I even like want to use the term fiddle camp lightly because it's more of a like ranch retreat, and we just happen to also play music. Like we spend most of the day making food and gathering from the garden and like the farm and stuff. But like we like again like accompany each other on instruments, and when I say instruments, I also use fiddle lightly because sometimes we'll jam with the spoons in the kitchen or grab the bones in the boneyard, or like, you know, and it's like have fun with that kind of. And that's the thing, like I love that energy, and like something that I really appreciate about like more folk-oriented communities is that they're not afraid to like explore with weird things like that. Because I think sometimes people think like to be like a skilled musician, you have to like have all this training. And no, it's like sometimes you just grab a beer bottle and have fun with it, you know?
Twang on the little top tab
Yeah.
until it falls off. And then it turns into a little rattle, you know?
Yeah. But I mean, even just my own background and influences of like growing up on the West Coast in like the Pacific Northwest, it's like, how can you not be inspired by that kind of nature? Like, and that's even something that like, and it'll be in the song I'm gonna share is like, you know, the thing that sometimes me living in different places is like figuring out what to appreciate about the different like environments and what it can provide for you. Because like the thing that I miss a lot sometimes is being by an ocean and being inspired by like natural water. But then there's all these other things, like if you take the time to explore, that's why it's like, because people always, that's the first thing everybody asks me. They're like, why did you move to Ohio? Like, why'd you leave Seattle? And I'm like, well, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why, but like cost of living's a big thing. But it's like, some of it is like, it grows on you once you give it time. It's just like getting to know a person.
It's like round on both sides and high in the middle.
Yeah.
Good reason, right?
Yeah, but I mean, and my answer, I guess when they ask me that is like, the thing I love about like Cincinnati in particular there's so much opportunity. Like I feel like there's so much opportunity for growth, and like it's a really nice area for people who are entrepreneurs or like want to do things like startup kind of communities, whether that's through music or through farming or whatever. Whereas, right, because like you look at the big cities out there like Seattle and some of those things like it's sometimes like already so established that it's hard if you're like new trying to try things out.
Yeah, it is intriguing. People will tell you about going to some of the bigger cities. I know we were talking with Theo Katzman about that, but there's something inspiring about these smaller towns that have their unique little slices of Americana. And you could almost even say Cincinnati. I feel like it's a fairly large, smaller town. I mean, it's not no Singapore or anything. Shanghai. You've heard of those ones, right? Or Toronto.
Right? I feel like Cincinnati is a really good size. I'm also somebody who's lived in different places. And before Cincinnati, I lived in Louisville. And I remember somebody described it as like, Louisville's one of those places where everybody like has everybody they need already. They've got their networks from childhood. They don't really need to incorporate people. And Cincinnati can have a little bit of that vibe, but I do find that it's like big enough and expansive enough that like it's a little easier after you've been here for a couple of years to start getting into the networks.
People are cool. Like if you're cool, people are cool.
I mean, that's a good life approach, actually. If you're just cool, people will be cool back.
I mean, it's hard to tell sometimes. We're gonna get. Oh wow, we got the red case coming up. We got a red case situation happening here. Do you know anything about the red case situations here? Should we open it up or should we leave it shut for a while?
No, I don't know what a red case. What does that mean? Red case
not
situation.
A yellow case situation. I know that. Hey, can we get Mike Bell up here and explain a red case situation here real quick? We got a red case situation. It just came.
Well,
in the Wake Farm Up app here, it's like blinging up on my phone. No, it's not an app that's available to anybody else yet. It just only works on my elf.
In the quick setup, I forgot to put our RoseNSal logo right there, and so that's what we got on the red case.
Bam, red case.
Very
red
nice.
case.
For our video people.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you, video people. Appreciate you. I know I see some of these videos, even like looking out at the videos, they say RoseNSal too.
Yeah.
This is amazing. We need to stick a Wake the Farm Up on one of those video devices. Right? Maybe a Sarah Gorak song is due after that red case scenario.
Yes.
Yeah, talking about suitcases make you think of traveling a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it'd be a good time for feel up for a song, share a song with the audience here, and we've been talking about all kinds of serious stuff, kind of seriously funny in some parts of it, but yeah, this is real stuff. We're gonna be getting guided by mushrooms, like straight up here today. I'm really excited about that.
I need to hear about this instrument first, though. This does not look like your average fiddle.
Oh,
This is not your average fiddle.
Yeah. Because I like collecting weird instruments so that people ask me those questions. So for the people who can't see it, it's a small looking. Well, you could look it up on the internet.
Describe it though.
Yeah. Okay. So it's
They're doing
really
everything.
small looking. It doesn't quite look like a violin or a fiddle because it's made out of plastic and it's maroon. And the reason why it's made out of plastic is it's a travel violin or fiddle. Doesn't matter. Like everybody asks me that question. Violin, fiddle, it's how you play it. It's the real answer. It's the same instrument. It's how you play it. Like if I want to take care of it, I'm just kidding. I was gonna say, if I want to take care of it, I play violin. If I want to rough up a little, it's fiddle. But that being said, like playing outside, I learned very quickly I don't want to play my expensive classical violins that cost more than a car outside if it's gonna like storm on me randomly.
So you only play that like inside of a building?
I mean,
you need like structure around you. Like you like archways. Like what do you have a preferred indoor?
Well, so the model of this travel violin is called. It's from a company called Magic Fluke, Fluke, because it's actually a ukulele company. But they make travel instruments so that you can bring them to around campfires or play it at the beach, or where they're durable because they're made out of primarily plastic.
So that can like float, like.
I mean, you could technically. My friends joke you could take it underwater. You could. You probably wouldn't make a sound, but you could technically take it underwater.
Wow.
And so I bought this instrument because I didn't want to risk my nice violins. And this instrument's so cool because there's also an outlet on it so that you can play it electric. So it's acoustic electric, and I love it. The sound of it sounds really awesome, like just as good, if not better, than a normal fiddle. And I can play it plugged in or not plugged in. That it's become like my main axe. We say like the one I play the most. So I honestly really don't even play my real violin anymore. I kind of only save it for like recordings or things like that, or playing with my students.
I love that you compared it to a garden tool. Now I'm ready to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the first song I'm going to share is kind of brings back what we were talking about a little earlier, because I wrote a song about the fact that I've lived a bunch of different places, and with that comes feeling really homesick when I'm like 3,000 miles away from my family, or I miss the ocean, or I miss fill in the blank. But when you start going back, I guess, to those places, then you kind of realize, maybe home is where I'm at now. And that's why I wrote this song about that. Kind of that juxtaposition of feeling not at home, but finding a new home and creating your belonging wherever you're at. So this is a song I wrote called Transplant. Yourself, there's much more to be explored. Thanks.
I have to be honest, that kind of brought me like a little bit of tears because I lived on the Big Island for quite a while.
Oh, nice.
And just that whole thing.
Sweet.
That
Yeah,
was cool.
thanks.
For sure. I think anybody who's had that experience of living in different places can totally relate.
Yeah.
I've been super emo lately. I definitely got a few Elfie tears on it. And I also got like my little Elfie banter, like when you were saying, Cincinnati, where's your ocean? Immediately being a child of Cincinnati, I went to all the petrified ocean that's in the creeks everywhere, and how my whole life I grew up in the area walking around on fossilized ocean.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And traveling other places, they don't have that. I kind of took it for granted. I'm super grateful for it. Right now, I'm like in a lot of gratitude for life for really weird things like that. But like, I have so much gratitude that I grew up with these images of ocean floor looking at me. I remember even recently being at a beach in Florida where I was walking over shells, and it reminded me of the fossilized ones at home. And I was like, oh, wow, these are new ones.
Yeah. I thought you'd like it too. I totally didn't like super plan it. It's like, because I wrote that song a couple years ago. And I thought, I was like, oh, it's a cool thing that it tells my story, but it also uses the line, you can only choose to grow where you plant yourself. And I thought, I was like, ooh, that brings it together with your wake up the farm. Yeah, wake the farm up. Yeah. Wake the farm up. Yeah.
So I was thinking when you said it was called Transplant, I'm like, oh, perfect, yeah.
And you said something about forearms, and so like it's not exactly that I have forearms, but I do want to explain to the people who've never heard about this before, how I was able to like play and sing at the same time. I'm doing something that's called live looping, and if you've never heard of that before, it's where you use like this guitar pedal device that basically records you in real time, and then it loops it over and over again. So that's how it's like I'm able to like play and then play like a solo on top and stuff like that. And it's basically me creating like a one person band, which is kind of fun and has a lot of exploration. But it also is like, because it's recording you, it's like for better or worse. You get to hear it over and over again, whatever happens.
Yeah, that's the groove.
But sometimes it's fun. Like, me and my mentors, we talk about live looping being like an Etch-a-Sketch. Oh, this is gonna age me. That's okay. But like how on an Etch-a-Sketch, it's like if you mess up on the Etch-a-Sketch, you have two choices. You either work with it like Bob Ross, make it work, or you have to just shake it and start over. And that's really how life is too, right? Because it's like if you come across a stumbling block, your choice is to face it or not.
Yeah, like little trees come in, and somehow it just gets made okay.
And it's just cool because sometimes that's how you evolve though, because like there's been times where, because like I didn't actually use a vocal mic on that one, or I mean I am talking in a mic, but like I can put a microphone into the looper and put some fun sounds into that. And there have been totally times where like a siren like goes while I'm recording, or like something gets in the mic while I'm recording.
One of those mythical creatures?
Or something
that
will
lure
like,
men out of their boats to their drowning death?
Yeah, that type of siren, yeah.
I can imagine that would happen around you.
Yeah.
And I do see you have forearms. You got two of them.
Oh yeah. I do have 4 eyes too.
That's loopy. That's loopy.
Yeah, like, so what I mean is like sometimes when I'm live looping recording, like I'll have an accident happen, but sometimes the accident ends up being cool, that then I'm like, how did I do that? Because I want to do that again.
Yeah, it's special in that loop moment, huh?
Yeah, because sometimes it's like, and that's kind of the fun, like, magic of it too, is like, it always makes it, I feel like I've never really truly played a song exactly the same every time. And that's what makes it kind of fun, because then it makes me feel like I won't ever get bored with it.
Yeah. That's great. That thanks for sharing
Yeah, you're
that
welcome.
energy with our show, which we've never done a show that was like another show before it. It's like we did this all unscripted, and we support and encourage like that fresh in the moment creativeness.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was magical. Like that was like the one time that you ever play that song. It was like an incredible version of it.
Oh, thanks.
I felt you throw 125, 200% in on it.
Nice, yeah. I'm hoping to get that recorded and on so other people can see it, because my vision for that music video is like showing me play it by myself, but then like see some other people jamming down the road and then like joining them, because the whole message behind it is like finding your belonging in your communities.
Well, we would love it for the next bit of our show today if you would love to add some of the loop, live loop in with the
Yeah, or just playing jamming with whatever whatever
you
Steve's
can
playing.
be guided by mushrooms, because we're going to be
are you sampling stuff next?
I don't know what that means, but yeah, we got some reishi up here if you want to chew on some, or a boar's head. Or if you want to feel what a rabbit fur feels like. I mean, it's a really natural material. It was never like processed with plastic or anything. Just a little dude hopping around in the forest.
Nice.
And there's a cow horn drink. You know, what kind of samples do you want? We do have berries. Did we bring
I
the
didn't
berries?
mean I needed some. I was just curious if you were trying some.
Stefan, should we see if we can get Barry up here? Yeah. Okay. Liz, what do you think about? Do you think Barry should pop in?
Yeah.
All right, it's Barry, and I really like berries. And I wanted to tell you about how recently I got to give the elf his new wallet, and it's kind of a funny story because the elf had left his wallet in El Segundo, but he was able to like recover it. And when he did, there was all kinds of holes in it, and came back with duct tape and all kinds of things like that. So coins would just fall right through it, right? So like, what kind of good is a wallet where the coins just fall right through it, and there's only one layer on it? So if I got like, if the elf got sweaty, then like all the cash would be just like wet cash. You couldn't even put it into a vending machine if you wanted to. It's just that kind of thing. Maybe you could give it to a lifeguard or something. All right, Barry, what are you gonna say about this wallet, though? Oh yeah, sorry, I'm kind of like that. You need some tongue-sprung people around like Barry. So this wallet, came from so there's this guy Barry. He's out in the ethereal plains now, and years ago Barry was an old school hippie that traveled around and sold vintage things. Fascinating enough, so I thought I wanted to share a little bit about Barry. Barry's been gone with us now, and now he resides, within all of us, and so that's Barry right here. This is Barry's voice. All right, thanks for joining us, Barry.
And we really appreciate the new wallet. The new wallet's been really working out good. It's made out of hemp. If you haven't ever had a hemp wallet, now's a good time for a hemp wallet. A hemp wallet is great. It's a great fine fabric, and 30, 40 years from now, this wallet might even be vintage. And you might even be able to find it
at the coolest vintage shop in the galaxy. That's what I'm talking about. I like looking at the future, like this is the coolest vintage shop in the world, the galaxy. Whoa. So as we got all kinds of things going on up at the stage here. The wild boar is getting like kind of frustrated about the moss in his eye, but I think he's gonna get over it. We got some little movement in the music up here, but let's all give a shout out for Sarah Gorak and sharing a song and sharing about her adventures here. And this will be some of... They're throwing things up on stage like flowers. Look at all this. Is that some sea moss that just hit my leg? Yes, more. Yeah. Got Mike coming up on the mic, guided by mushrooms since 2018.
And I'm sure this guy's been guided by mushrooms much longer than that.
they've been calling this energy together. This is not just your average everyday here. People give a hand together here for Mike. Guided. Goldstick.
Yes.
Mike Goldstick on the mic.
Thanks, Andy. Thanks, Liz, for having me today. Love what you guys got going on here with the bones and the fur and the mushrooms.
The moss.
And the moss. Can't forget the moss. Just in one eyeball though.
Wait, you got the timer going, Liz? Is you ready for the timer?
Ready for? Is this my 2 minutes?
You 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yes. Intro about what we're about and what we do.
Yeah,
Awesome.
whatever
Yeah.
you want to share. Honestly, I mean,
Awesome.
you can talk about your earliest childhood memory if you really want, but
Right.
But people are probably more interested
Yeah,
in
well,
what you're
well,
about and what you're doing.
We'll forego that for now. Right on. So as Andy explained, Guided by Mushrooms, we are a local mushroom farm. Been doing this for about 4 or 5 years. We're in the Dayton area. We are a worker-owned cooperative mushroom farm. We think that the worker-owned model is going to be more popular as people strive for equitable wages and equitable treatment in the workplace. People that deserve skin in the game and have incentive to make a business grow and succeed. So we're also veteran and female owned. So we're diverse. We're a diverse squad. We all bring different things to the table. I am a third original owner of Guided by Mushrooms with my sister Audra and her husband David. The three of us, we started this. Now we have 8 total part-time workers and full-time workers on the staff. We're in a variety of groceries and restaurants and farmers market in the Dayton, Cincinnati, and Columbus area. 2nd Street Market, downtown Dayton, is the largest public farmers market in Dayton. We set up there on the weekends. Matter of fact, we're just closing up a couple hours ago before we came on today. So we're there every weekend. I will be posted up there tomorrow morning from 9 to 3. So if you want to come downtown Dayton, if you are in the area. I know we're dealing with mainly a Cincinnati crowd of hosts today, but we do have some Cincinnati exposure as well. Jungle Gyms is probably the most popular location that we carry our full product line. Yes, it's Americana at its finest, but
Wake the farm up. That was Mike's 2 minutes. That was some
Right on.
gold stick in
right
your
on.
ears.
Thank you. All right, we appreciate it. So
yeah, all right, see you later. No, I'm just kidding. There's so
dang.
much more. We got so much time. We want to be guided by you right now. I'm blown away. I was not aware of the worker-owned part of Guided by Mushrooms. That tells me once again that's pretty authentic. That gets some authentication, on going with the name Guided by Mushrooms makes sense that they would be not owned by just this one guy right here, It's owned by a collective of people. So how many people are you at now? You had Audrey and David, your sister and brother-in-law?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, Audrey and David, and myself, the original 3. We've added Amy Cox. Amy is one of our OGs, really. She's been with us for years now. When the COVID pandemic in 2020 did happen, we did have to curtail business, lay off some of our part-time workers at the time, and kind of just, tread water. But Amy's one of our OG members. Christina Maynard, she's our production manager. Amy, she's kind of a jack of all trades, really. She can fit in wherever we need her. Derek Stevens is our production/maintenance guy. I personally do a lot of the sales and outreach. I like to do stuff like this, meeting people, getting out to the stores. And David and Audra, the original OGs with me. They, general manager, food safety, handles all the business, payroll, all the financial fun stuff that nobody really wants to do, but has to do anyway. And we've added a couple part-time workers to help vend at 2nd Street Market downtown, and also to help fulfill orders. Production is under control, but we always need help pushing the mushrooms that we grow out the door, right? And so, packing orders, making sure they're going to the right place, driving them out. We're
all the logistics.
yes,
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
logistics. Yep, we're transitioning a lot of our newer workers into that delivery role. Take the original owners off the roll, off the road, so they can focus on growing the business.
To get more delivering things, you start to get more familiar with what you guys are working with, and then they can join in the conversation more. I'm really curious about that many people working together, and they're all worker owned. You guys all want to have a say on where the business is going and different aspects of it. How do you guys keep your group together cohesively?
We are fortunate to have really good mentorship. We couldn't do this alone. We have Co-op Dayton provides really good sound financial and structural leadership and mentorship. They have been with us from the beginning, ever since we wanted to transition our business into a co-op. And specifically, Sherelle is our mentor. Co-op Dayton also works closely with Co-op Cincy. We are proud that Dayton is, for the size that it is, being a small city. You guys talk about Cincinnati being like a large small city. Dayton is like less than half the size of Cincinnati, so we're like a large small city. But the cool thing about Dayton is that they actually do have a lot of co-op businesses that are sprouting, and it's really due to just honestly creativity and entrepreneurship. We think it's awesome. One of them is actually a customer of ours. It's Gem City Market. They're located on the west side of Dayton, which is an underserved area. It's literally a food desert, and Gem City Market got off the ground a co-op community-owned grocery store where they can serve fresh produce and fresh food, as well as prepared food to a number of underserved people who really don't have access to fresh food. And Dayton specifically does have a lot of food insecurity and food deserts.
Are you familiar with, it was Garden Street Gardens? I think they were really progressively growing things, but maybe like 4 or 5 years ago they got developed over. It happens sometimes in these areas where nobody's looking at a place, so people start growing things, and then all of a sudden it's pretty, and then somebody else wants to put apartment buildings on it or something.
Right. That's so uninspiring because we want more sustainable food measures. We are proud to say that growing mushrooms is one of the most sustainable foods on the planet, really. We grow on a mix of wood pellets and soybean hull pellets, which have been basically sterilized. They've been cooked, to get the contaminants out. And then we add, the mushroom spawn in that sterile lab area, and then grow the mushrooms out on that. We at Guided by Mushrooms have a mission. Our mission statement is simply this: to provide the best mycological products out there, as well as raising the consciousness about the nutritional, the health benefits, and the ecological benefits of mushrooms and mushroom mycelium. We think that's super, super important. Yeah. So we're really, we've got a lot of hands in the pot. Our bread and butter really is the fresh mushroom game and the value-added product game right now. We have value-added products with mushroom seasonings that we make with oyster mushrooms. We dry them, turn them into powder, and then add different seasonings based on your culinary preference. We think it's really neat as a salt substitute. People can flavor their food without having to worry about sodium intake. Plus, they're super delicious and very versatile on a variety of food. So,
are you guys hearing about that in the store there? Just like, that's amazing. Like, this guy's growing this stuff and like right around our area here.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of this coolest vintage shop in here, huh? Loving it.
Awesome.
We got somebody from Cincinnati up here in Yellow Springs joining in here.
Yay.
I love listening to you guys, so I'm definitely gonna, since I've been here, so I'm definitely gonna start picking you up on your podcast.
Yeah, subscribe.
Yeah,
You know,
awesome.
if you like this
we do
show,
live
join
shows
in,
like this in
subscribe.
Cincinnati too. Come check us out.
I love that Kiss shirt that we got going on in there. Like Kiss is a great band there.
Very cool.
I want to
Thanks
see
for
some
coming
people
out and
try to
talking
stick
to
their
us.
tongue out as far as Gene Simmons.
Maybe they will if we offer some of this mushroom salt.
Yes, there we go. Yes, definitely.
They'll try to get the bottom of the jar.
Yeah, definitely. So we're working. It's interesting because the mushroom seasonings, they have great flavor, but we also can kind of pitch them as like a healthy food item. We do carry them in town here. We're in Yellow Springs, just 2 doors away at Rosie's Natural Food carries the mushroom seasonings, for instance, as well as and other products that we'll get into with the health and wellness side that we're working on in our business. The health and wellness side is probably the fastest growing side of our business that we're real excited about. And we'll get into that as part of our mission statement too. At Guided by Mushrooms, part of our mission is to inspire health and wellness through mushrooms, right? Yes.
I mean, the science is there.
Yes.
You know, people look
Yes.
at it. Take a look at it. The science is there. It's
The
just
science is there.
A sciencey question about this health and wellness of the mushrooms. Because I was wondering, like the powdered mushrooms, I know that in plant walks a lot of times the teachers say that you gotta cook the mushrooms to get the benefit and in order to
Right.
not have the toxins. And I wonder about the powders as well.
Right. Well, we do use the powders as a raw mushroom, which is meant to be heated or cooked, in order to unlock the health benefits that you would get from consuming mushrooms. Because mushrooms in general, good for blood sugar, good for regulating cholesterol, and number of things too. But yeah, we always tell people whether we sell them fresh or dried or whatever, always cook your mushrooms before you eat them so you can get the best health benefit from them.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. I know I've like put mushroom powders in smoothies and stuff before, and like now that I'm learning more about it, I'm like, is that even? Is that legit?
It's
My smoothie
it's
is cold.
legit in certain cases. It's legit. It's legit if the powder that you consume is made of actual mushrooms and not like a bunch of grains and filler and other stuff that you don't really want in there.
dried cardboard.
Right? Or they like to throw sugar and flavorings and things of that nature to mushroom coffees. Yeah, stuff that's cheap and filler. But one thing that you want to make sure is that it's full fruiting body. You want to make sure you actually have mushrooms in your powder product, and also make sure that they are bioavailable, which means they've been heat treated in some sort of way that your body can absorb the nutrients from it. That's the big thing with the powders. It's the big thing with the powders, you guys, is to make sure that the powders don't contain grain, biomass, rice, myceliated rice. I could go on. There's a number of different things that you don't necessarily need to be consuming with your mushroom products. Right. Yeah. A lot of the mushroom-based coffees are actually cocoa-based and not coffee as in whole bean or ground coffee. And so mushroom coffees are gaining a lot of popularity, and we do have a local collaboration. Shout out to Rosebud's Real Food. They're in Covington, Ohio. They sell Mushroom Mojo. What up?
You said Covington, Ohio?
It's north of Troy. It's a real small town just north of Dayton. It's just a real small town. I know you guys are Cincy folk, but it's even like north of us.
Yeah, we're all
But
like
yes.
Covington down in Cincinnati.
Right,
like,
not
you said
Kentucky.
Ohio?
Right. Yes, I know. Right. There's a Covington in Ohio too. Go figure. But they are vendors at Second Street Market, so find them downtown Dayton, Second Street Market, Friday, Saturday, Sunday on the weekends. Mushroom Mojo.
So yeah, I make a lot of my own coffee mushroom mixes. So like I forage out here. So I got this
Yes.
big
You have a reishi mushroom there, sir.
reishi. Yeah.
Yes.
The hemlock reishi.
I noticed it right when I came in. I was like, ooh, that's a nice reishi you got there.
We knew we were gonna be friends, you know.
Yeah. And that's another part of our mission statement that we wanted to raise consciousness about is the health benefits of the mushrooms and improving wellness through the mushrooms. And so we really started getting into medicinal mushrooms like during COVID pandemic because we were just like looking for ways to not get sick and not end up in the hospital.
Yes.
Like for real.
Yeah.
Really a boost the immune system.
Really, we just wanted we just wanted to boost our immunity, so we started making tinctures. The first one we actually started messing with was a wild forage turkey tail.
So can you tell us about the double extract? I imagine you
Yes.
can tell us a little bit about that. You know, like remember some people like are new, some people went a little deeper. So maybe like give us something in the middle there.
Yeah, sure. So like basically like all the good compounds, I'm gonna like dumb this down a whole lot. All the good compounds in medicinal mushrooms are either water soluble or fat/alcohol soluble. So
Fatty, like pH fat.
right.
Fat, dude.
Yeah. Right. So with the water side, we do a hot water extraction, and on the fat/alcohol side, we do an ethanol extraction. We simply extract the mushrooms 2 times, then combine those extracts together. It's really
Pulls out
that.
the full
Yeah.
spectrum of
That's
the
correct.
mushrooms.
Right. Yes. Yeah. The full spectrum of the mushrooms, not just the water-soluble stuff, or not just the alcohol-soluble stuff, but both. So yeah, that's why it's dual, because it's 2 together.
yeah.
So yeah, for our noobs in the mushroom supplement game, that's something to look for when you're purchasing mushroom tinctures. You want to look for a dual extraction. The 4 big ones that we focus on medicinal mushroom-wise are lion's mane. That's by far our #1 bestseller. I believe that it's, of all the mushrooms, it's got the most hype, the best PR, right? So we sell a lot of that. Our #2 singular extract is cordyceps. Thank you, The Last of Us, for increasing awareness on cordyceps. We appreciate that. At first, people were kind of scared, but then we wrote a blog response on our website, guidedbymushrooms.com, that kind of dispels some of the rumors about The Last of Us and how cordyceps mushrooms specifically cannot infect human brains, but only insect brains, and can't spread and turn humans into zombies and stuff. So
Yeah,
that's
that-
cool.
Maybe
But yeah.
maybe the prototaxites could do that if they came back, because they kind of look like giant cordyceps. You familiar
Yeah.
with those?
Yeah.
Devonian period, talking about fossils again.
Totally. So lion's mane, cordyceps is another big one. Turkey tail and reishi are 2 huge immune mushrooms that we cultivate and grow and turn into products too. That was actually the first one that we got hip to during COVID, was the turkey tail. We wild foraged it and made tincture, and started getting like really good results with like pain and inflammation. Specifically my sister, who suffered from endometriosis a lot of her life, plus she has like some autoimmune stuff going on too. So like it really helped with her pain and inflammation, got us interested. And I was like, dang, what are you taking? I need to be taking that too. I had a lot of like inflammation and pain in my joints, specifically from like repetitive years of kitchen prep and stuff. And so it was really hard on me,
This is cool hearing how you kind of guys both kind of you and your sister came into this.
Yeah.
I want to hear more about that.
Oh, we're
Because
gonna
you're
get
getting
it.
into
Yeah, like personal experience, really, like with the tincture, like improved our health and wellness to the point where we're like, hey, we need to share these with friends and get them out. Like, you keep in mind, this is COVID though, so like, we're like, yo, leave it on the curbside, wear your mask, like, right? But friends started trying them, like, hey, we're feeling better. You guys really got something here. So once the COVID pandemic opened, we had created enough inventory where we could start getting them into stores, and that's exactly what we did. Started getting them into small little stores in the Dayton, Cincinnati, and Columbus areas, Yellow Springs too. In this area, I consider that kind of like Dayton, really. But started strong reopen with COVID being in the rear view. And just started blowing it out in the stores with the fresh mushrooms too. Like, we did have a setback when we started gearing up with the fresh mushrooms, and COVID shut down all the restaurants. That sucked. But yeah, so then we really hope, I think, in the future to transition to mainly a health and wellness and an ecological business. Really, we think that fresh mushrooms are amazing, but we do not think that they're necessarily the end game. We would love to get into a situation where we were simply growing to, provide for like food banks and like feed disadvantaged and like poor people that don't have access to like quality produce.
Wake the farm up.
Yup.
That's a goal.
Yeah.
That's a goal.
We're hearing where
Yeah.
he's come
Yeah.
from, where he's looking
Yeah.
at going, where he's at, all in these interwoven stories.
Yep.
And shout out to Produce Perks. I'm sure y'all have
Yep.
places that take the.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep. Right there at Second Street Market. Yeah, we accept Produce Perks. Like, and that's a great way for like folks who are on like assistance, like to try some mushrooms that they might not necessarily have access to otherwise. So yeah, shout out to Produce Perks. Senior Farmers Market too is another great program for seniors to get access to our mushrooms at Second Street. Shout out to like all those programs. Homeful is another one that's in the Dayton area. That's like growing produce in disadvantaged and like food deserts too. We're loving a lot of the creativity and the attempts to solve like some of the food insecurities in our local area. Like we're real excited about that.
And if anybody is like experienced, is on assistance programs in Ohio and wants to learn about having access to fresh produce and mushrooms and things like that, feel free to reach out to me at Liz Virgo's Life on Instagram. I've been on EBT for the last 6 months and stopped going to the grocery stores right when I basically started. And and it's been wonderful. The Produce Perks program has made it so affordable for me. I really think I'm getting a lot more than I would if I was going to grocery stores.
Yeah, you can tell she's been getting her hands on an ample amount of shiitake, because I know like she and I could get down and talk some shit.
We love that. We love that.
It helps connect the brain neurons, so when you are talking, all these mushrooms, like in their unique ways, they light up different connectors in our nerve tissue. And it's amazing.
So we were talking about personal experiences a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about my personal experiences with mushrooms, because they have been such a huge part of my healing journey. And as you're talking about like the way they affect the nerves, like for me, my nervous system has been guiding me for the last several years. Well, it's been guiding me my whole life, but just now I've been conscious of it for the last few years. And like I used to not sleep because I was so in a sympathetic nervous state all the time. And chaga and reishi, wild forage were some of the things that really helped me to get back on track. Now I don't even think I can say I have insomnia. I still have 2 small children, so I get woken up all night.
Right.
It's not
You still
my
have
nervous
sleep
system.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Your immune system doesn't break down
I give
during
them some
all
mushrooms.
that.
Lord.
Alternative sleep.
Yes.
Man. But this morning I woke up, I really do eat
did that this
shiitake
morning,
almost
too.
every day.
Awesome.
Every day, almost every day. I was just gonna say I woke up this morning too. I'm sorry. I don't like when I cut you off. I try not to do it. I've been like wanting to take some advice from some of her kids. They were walking around with pacifiers in their mouth. I was like, I might need to get one of those too.
Nice. Just a
Keep
plug.
your
just
mouth
keep
the
shut,
plug.
right?
Yeah, I need to listen sometimes. Yeah, I'll put a golden teacher in. That's it.
But I'm excited about the reishi. Ande, there was a partner to this reishi mushroom. I got the other one sitting in my house. And this morning I tried a cauliflower mushroom in my eggs. I also had a little shiitake.
Nice.
So I had shiitake cauliflower mushroom eggs. That was new for me.
Yeah.
Is the cauliflower is not quite as common for
not.
growers.
It's not.
More
It's a wild forage
wild,
mushroom
yeah.
that's actually available right now in the summertime. You can find it outside if you can identify it. It tends to grow on or around like wood or tree roots. Appears to be terrestrial. It looks like it's growing straight out of the ground. But get pictures. Make sure that you have if you're foraging out there, like something that's really cool and useful is the Seek app. I think it's promoted by iNaturalist, but it's a free app that you can download to your phone, and it links up with your camera, and you can take pictures of plants, fungi. It's getting a little better as it cross-references more stuff, but it's a great app for beginning foragers. That
Beginnaging. That's
I know,
love how
right?
these
Right.
things come out.
Yeah.
Let's get foraging. Get beginnaging.
Right, yeah, but so we think that's a really cool app. That's actually one that I really got hip to, because let's just face it, guys, during COVID, when they shut the world down and stuff, we all needed to find stuff to bide our time, and I just went outside, for real, just stayed outside and used the app and started taking pictures of every freaking plant that looked cool or interesting that I knew wasn't poison ivy, and was what is that? I want to learn about that. Are the berries edible? So I super duper got into
Barry, calm down.
foraging, especially during COVID. My interest was already kind of there, but yeah, during COVID it was just really just blew out the foraging. Got super interested in mushroom ID and what mushrooms could do what for you, what they look like, how to identify them, all the
Spore print. Get into spore prints.
spore print. Can I eat this? Healing properties of herbs and plants. Dang, there's poison ivy, but right next to it is jewelweed, which cures the itch of poison ivy. So you're dang, everything we need is right there.
The poison ivy gives the jewelweed something to do.
It gives us something to do, because what else is it gonna do if it's not curing poison ivy? Or,
one of the names of jewelweed is also touch me not, which is funny.
Yes.
It's its names are reminding you what to do, not do with the other
Yes.
plant. It's I shouldn't
Yes.
touch the poison ivy. but it's the little seed pods. When you touch them, they like spiral out and
Yeah, they
pop.
pop.
Yeah,
Yes.
my daughter wants
I love
me
that.
to have jewel weed all over my yard. She's like, I love popping
Just so
seeds.
she can pop them, right? It's great. It's great. Yeah.
You
so,
can eat those seeds if you can catch them, get your hand around and pop them into your hands.
hard. It's so hard.
good.
They're so fast. Like yeah, but yeah. So we're excited about like foraging mushrooms, and so obviously when you're outside and you're getting down low to the ground, like you get really interested about like, dang, how did this mushroom like even get to this point where it's like popping its little fruiting body out of the ground? Like, how did that happen? And so we got like way more interested in, you know, the network that's happening underground with mushroom mycelium and what is actually required in order for that little mushroom to pop its little head out.
It's all about the underground.
Yes, it's all about the underground. All the work is
Coming up.
All the work's being done like mainly where we can't see it because the root, you know, the network, the mycelium network, it's like a neural network. It looks like little neurons, you know, and all that stuff is happening underground where we can't see it, and we can only kind of like see like the after effect or the byproduct of it. Yes, so fascinating. So we started like reading more articles about the benefits of, you know, mushroom mycelium too, and not just from like the food perspective and the medicinal perspective, but from like the ecological perspective. Like
Mycoremediation.
Yes, mycoremediation. All right, so if we got like new listeners that don't know what mycoremediation is, basically like mycoremediation is using mushrooms or mushroom mycelium in order to either repair, you know, damaged soil, restore nutrients into, you know, an area that's been raised by pesticides or destroyed, like super rocky, sandy soil, disturbed soil that needs to be broken down, petroleum spills. Yes, waters is huge. Okay,
We
so
roll
like,
up
Man.
burlap sacks with chips that have been inoculated with mushrooms.
Yes.
And then you peg it into the ground and along
build
the stream
dams,
banks at places.
build mushroom dams in the
We don't
water.
wanna do dams 'cause
well,
they
not
get
dams,
taken
but you
out
get my
next time
idea.
there's a storm,
Mushroom
a tree.
filters, if you will, not dams. We don't want to block the water, but we
Yeah,
want to filter. We
right
want it
on
to
the
pour through.
edges of
Yes.
certain banks where you can place them, and then the water slowly can tuck up in there. Sometimes you even get a little bit extra sticks in there, but over time it sucks up the chemicals and turns it back into biology
Yes.
that's safe to be around, and it all just
Yes.
breaks down. There's no plastic in these installations.
Right.
The burlap gets eaten. Everything's eaten by mushrooms.
By mushrooms. Yeah,
Bacteria too.
basically, yeah. Like what he's referring to is allowing mushrooms to grow out onto burlap, you know, on these burlap sacks, and letting them grow out to the point where they're literally absorbing the hydrocarbon bonds, AKA the pollutants that are flowing through the water. Oyster mushroom mycelium. We grow a ton of oyster mushrooms weekly for groceries, restaurants, like I said, in the area. But one of the cool things that oyster mushroom mycelium can do is it can break down hydrocarbon bonds, and petroleum oil spills fall right into that range. A number of pesticides fall into that range too. And so, and I know you guys all, if you're local in Ohio at all, you remember the recent East Palestine oil or spill, train, wreckage spill, where all the oil or whatever got into the water. We had like dreams of like flying helicopters in with like giant like mushroom, mushroom
Mushroom helicopters,
right.
dropping them in.
coming to the rescue to filter your water.
I'd come in. I'd wear a special vest or something to go in on that with you.
Right? This is a big old mushroom with an S or something. Big old mushroom with an S.
Jump
cape.
out of the helicopter with
Yeah.
like a mushroom parachute.
But we would love, like, it would be a kind of a dream scenario for us to be able to, dedicate, a certain area of land and tested the restorative properties of that mushroom mycelium and try to restore its natural ecology, where it had obviously been disrupted. So yeah. That's a big dream. We would love to partner with somebody to help that materialize further.
Talk after the recording.
There we
get
go.
off the record.
Of course. Well, there we go.
Sort out some of the biz.
Right on. Yes, that's great. On the ecological side too, we recently we've been working with this this clothing company. It's a proof of concept. They can't really call it a company yet.
Wait, the farm. I am so excited about this aspect right here. I've been talking to Mike about this. Like, I travel around the country and I meet mushroom growers at different farmers markets. When I started doing farmers markets years ago, mushrooms were so uncommon. I did markets for 13 years. That was 5 years ago, so like 18 years-ish ago. I was doing markets, and mushrooms were very uncommon.
Yeah.
Now, like almost all those big cities we talked about, like the Torontos and the whatnot, have
several mushroom
several
farms.
mushroom farms, and they're growing, and people are interested in it. It's so fascinating, but seldom do I come across this.
So recently, we've been working with 3 bright Kent State University fashion school students who started a proof of concept called MISY, M-I-S-Y, and what they are doing is they are trying to solve the problem of textile waste. It's a huge problem in the fashion industry, and they're just overcrowding our landfills, right? And so these 3...
That bad fashion, man. Like,
it's bad romance right there, right?
it only stuck for the spring, out the door, in the landfill.
Right. And these 3 bright students were looking to solve that problem through sustainable fashion. And so what they did is we grew out a species of Ganoderma mycelium, which is very similar to the reishi mushroom that you have on the table here. One of the cool things about the Ganoderma is that it has fantastic insulative properties, protective properties. It can potentially filter out certain even radiation, which is like crazy, and we might
important in these times.
Yeah.
We're exposed to more of it than I think maybe we've been at least different kinds. Maybe there's been others at times.
Yeah, definitely. And so we've identified the Ganoderma mycelium as being strong and being durable, and also having those protective abilities. The mycelium is actually able to be grown out and formed into certain materials, which can be used in a number of applications. And these students decided to pivot to fashion. So what basically they're relying on is like the life cycle, a sustainable life cycle of mycelium, which basically you grow the mycelium out and you grow it and you make the bag, and then eventually that bag can be composted and turned right back into the ground. And so you don't have the waste from that. And so they actually won a trip to Taiwan to present their solution in front of a bunch of judges and 6 other, I think it was 5 or 6 other very lofty competitors to compete for a $1 million grand prize. Like, that's kind of crazy. So they are really
$1 million.
But what we're really excited about is catching on to this trend of sustainable fashion that these students are really starting to work with. So we were supplying our work and our resource and our time and our knowledge as well to help them get some prototypes off the ground. And so that is about the stage that they are at right now with it. We understand some large designers are starting to do this, but we think that there is enough of a niche market where as long as the material, the accessories that we create or that they create are different enough, and cool enough, then we are really excited about where that one could go. We got a lot of irons in the fire, but yeah, that's definitely one that we're excited about for the future.
Yeah, so we're talking about future. So you wake the farm up on that. That's some future stuff here.
Yeah, we're excited about that one.
So like I can see myself 30 years from now coming back to the coolest vintage store in the world, the Galaxy at that point, and going into the closet and find some really cool vintage clothing made out of mushrooms.
It's gonna happen.
I'm gonna put that on, but I'd love to talk to these guys. I'd love to get a mushroom shirt or something way before that, I'd love to get fresh prints,
Yeah, that would be super cool. We're actually even talking to other folks who have big positions, and they are talking about again the insulative properties and the protective properties, and specifically with the respect to like the radiation and stuff, for insulating spaceships and doing like some real high-tech stuff, you know. So we've run into some like cool people that are growing out mycelium for doing some pretty cool stuff, and we would love to partner on a venture like that in the future. So
that's kind of
rocket scientists, hit us up.
Like maybe you could be like cultivating mushrooms like on other planets for different kinds of
what's come in the head
materials
for
and
me.
all kinds of stuff.
What?
Yeah.
Getting those spores out in outer space? I can
find
only
some of those-
imagine.
Yes.
Traveling through the universe.
Find some of those mushroom spores that are waiting for the right environment here and just take them to the right environment for them. Like maybe we get some of those giant mushrooms you can carve into houses and stuff.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we're real excited about like I said, the nutrition side, the health side, the ecological side. We are, at that point now where, we feel like we can really jump off, just kind of need to light that fuse.
I think the only spaceship I would probably leave the Earth on would be one made out of a mushroom, to be honest.
Right, yes, yeah, because I don't,
That's the only kind I've ever left the Earth on.
yeah. I don't know how I'd feel about like taking it underwater with our latest submersible event, but maybe
Too much
space
pressure.
might be a little safer. I don't know.
Yeah, don't put too much pressure on it.
Yeah. But we also believe in addition to solving the food insecurity problem in our local Dayton area, we also believe that it's critically important to make sure that with our harvest that we are making donations of our fresh mushrooms specifically to help feed folks who can't eat as much as they would like. And so since we've been a business, we're proud to exclaim that we are donors with the House of Bread. The House of Bread is a local food pantry in the Dayton area. We're happy to donate several 100 pounds a year of mushrooms to the House of Bread. They provide hot lunches 365 days a year, free to anybody that wants them. We think it's a very meaningful program. It is in a food desert area near Gem City Community Market, which we talked about earlier. And we just made a huge drop off to them this week. So we're real happy about what they're doing up at the House of Bread. We love the folks that work up there. They're all volunteers. They're all doing a fantastic service, and we're proud to be partnered with them too.
Incredible.
That's awesome too. Like, cause we know, I mean, at least for me, being somebody, I started working in soup kitchens as a child and provided food for different situations so many times that I think that there's been such a progression towards healthier foods. Like, a long time it was all about like, just getting people full, but the foods they were eating were not nutritious. So it's really cool to hear that they're eating, food is medicine, as so many of us know. So having this medicinal food.
We think that it's really a cool thing that we grow these gourmet mushrooms for some of the highest end restaurants in our area, the bougie places, right? And some of the bougie markets, like Dorothy Lane Market in Dayton area. But we also love the fact that in addition to these bougie places that we get our mushrooms to, we also serve to the soup kitchens.
Yes.
And the folks that really need to eat. So we love that we're hitting both ends of that. Super exciting.
Great. That's so wonderful, yes.
Yeah.
I think there's often just kind of a misconception. It's like, oh, well, I have to make money somehow, so that's the only route. And it's like, no, there is a way to definitely serve clientele who can afford and who can pay extra, but also provide to those in need.
Yes, and so that's why I think one of the things that we are going to focus on for the second half of 2023 is to link up with more food banks and try to get contracts set up with them and drop off at different hubs in Ohio. Because our reach is kind of limited to Ohio with the logistics of fresh mushrooms because they do have a shelf life. We want to make sure that folks are getting fresh products. So one of our major goals, I think, for 2023 is going to be partnering with more food banks and doing more distro through the food banks. And the Food Bank Incorporated is one that we've got our eyes on specifically right now. They are buying oyster mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms, cremini mushrooms, and based on the size of your farm, and it's a sliding scale, but we think that that could be a great opportunity for us to distribute some more of our product and also to feed hungry mouths. So, woo.
Yeah, we can farm up.
Yes.
That's we talk about permaculture a lot on this show,
Awesome.
and that's one of the ethics of permaculture is creating a surplus and giving back to the community. You guys are worker owned. You have so many awesome things going on for you guys. You're going to be making fashion like out of mushrooms. What? You're going to be doing so many. You are going to be doing so many things that you already started doing. So it's not like some dream. Like I see it happening. You guys have done so much through some of the hard times like COVID and whatnot too. So yeah, you guys are being guided by something.
Yes, part of our name, Guided by Mushrooms. A lot of people think that we're, it's a name from Guided by Voices, but there's no association with the band. We totally think mushrooms can absolutely save the world, and so, we want to bring as many people on that journey with us as possible.
I think having it at food banks, having it at markets, having it in local stores, not just the big conventional stores, but in the stores where people are like finding and opening up to new ideas of food. It's amazing. Like people are growing into this and accepting it. They taste good. There's so many different ways to prep them. I preserve them a lot. We haven't gotten too much into that a little bit with the drying and creating the different products. Oftentimes, like I'll go out and find chanterelles, and they'll be way more than
it's chanterelle
I
season.
can eat, and I'll dry them, and then they just reconstitute really easily later in the winter when I'm making soup, which is super. So, yeah, to keep those food banks stocked. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for being here. Let's all give Mike from Guided by Mushrooms a big round of applause.
Wake the farm up!
Mike!
That was awesome.
Yeah, hop up here. We got Brenton McMusiclover. What? So a while ago, this homie was calling me up. He just had a good time up in Yellow Springs. He called me up and he's like, yo, Elf, you should do a show up in Yellow Springs. And I was like, all right, you want to be the manager on it? He was like,
Yeah, sure. Next day, I saw on social media he had himself down as the manager for Wake the Farm Up, and he's rising up in it. This is one of my favorite homies that's come to the Pod Squad. Let's welcome Brenton McMusiclover.
We're going to give him his 2 minutes with this crunched up snake's egg skin. You're
Awesome.
on, dude. 2 minutes.
Thanks, y'all. Thanks for coming out and vibing with the podcast. Those that are in attendance. I'm sorry I missed Sarah's set. I'm sure it was lovely. This girl, this is my daughter Olivia here. Everybody give it up for Olivia. She's a trooper. She came up. She wanted to be a part of it too. But no, thanks for having me on. I'm super stoked that this came together. This was very seamless and one of the easiest shows to put together I've ever put together. So good work. Good work, Mike. Good work, Sarah. Good work, Steph. Good work, team. Ande, Liz, way to go. Mike and Susan. RoseNSal, our hosts. And I just want to say that this place is a magical place for me, as mushrooms are as well magical. And you can indulge in those. You cannot. That's your choice. I say you do, at least once. But, yeah, give it a shot. A little bit. Well, just a little bit. You know what I mean? And then take a little bit more. See how you're feeling. You do you. Anyway, I really love it here. I've brought people here that are dear and near to me, aside from my child. My late friend Clyde Brown, who passed this last December, rest in peace. I got to bring him here, and he got to experience the magic. They do awesome stuff here all the time. So just a plug for RoseNSal, because Mike and Susan, who run the shop, are awesome human beings. and they're doing great work. It's called the coolest vintage shop in the world on social media, but it actually is the coolest vintage shop in the world.
Wait,
So give it up for RoseNSal. Absolutely.
Now, Brenton, walks up here just a minute ago, and he's like, yeah, I was just talking to Steve Urkel, dude.
Yeah, actually, when I got out of the car, Jonathan Majors, who was in Lovecraft Country, and Jaleel White, who became famous as Steve Urkel, and I were just having a conversation over here, on the way over here, and they were talking about RoseNSal themselves and all the cool stuff that they do here, and they were actually having that conversation themselves, and I threw a shout out to the podcast because it was happening live. So
better get me in with Steve Urkel.
I invited Flame Monroe, but I don't
Probably
think
lost in the closet.
I don't think he or she came.
Right.
Fashion.
Nah,
my God.
it's okay.
Like some
So-
original Urkel
But-
outfit.
We haven't even mentioned on the podcast yet, why that is happening. Why is he in town?
So there's a guy that lives here that you may or may not have heard of. His name's Dave Chappelle, and he puts on these shows every summer. And was it last summer, Mike, when Fred had taken it? Awesome. So thank goodness Mike's in attendance. 2020 and 2021, Fred Yonay, who in my opinion is the best harmonica player in the entire world. Prince, you may have heard of him. He was his former harmonica player, and he rented this space and took it over. He actually paid to rent the space and bring legendary musicians in from all over the country and world and put on amazing live, some of the best live shows I've ever seen. There was no set list for any of it. It was all free-flowing stream of consciousness music, and it was about the same length of time. So they jam for an hour and a half at a time and then take a break and then jam for another hour and a half.
That's awesome.
At one point I looked back and Jon Stewart was sitting in my seat. And I was like, what do I do? Do I say something, or I'll just let him sit there. You know what I mean? So then I look back again, and then Bill Murray's sitting in my seat at the same show, and I'm like,
the show where he come up and
and I'm like, do I say something to him too? And then I'm like, apparently that I felt respected, because when I look back again, Dave Chappelle was sitting in my seat. So three people that I admire stole my seat at the show here at RoseNSal, and it just is a testament to the energy that was that seat. Right, I had the best seat in the house, so of course they were taking it. Right
now, Britton, I think this place is eventually going to be the coolest vintage shop in the galaxy. Because we're talking about building spaceships with mushrooms. I mean, we got to that point in here today. I mean, we even know which kind of mushroom to grow.
Yeah,
for a spaceship.
Mike and his whole entire staff of people, because they're not. I mean, you call them workers, but they're humans. And they're doing great work with all the mushrooms, the mycelium, and just beyond that, just outreach, connecting humans to other humans that deserve to be connected to each other and know each other and share ideas and thoughts together like this.
That real stuff.
So, I mean, I don't know how much more I have to add. I'm really grateful that this came together. Sorry I was late, but
Hey, Wizard's
Crystal,
always on time.
Still happy to be here, and thanks for having me, and thanks for everybody that came on. And I don't know, you got any questions for me?
I got a million questions. I'm so grateful that you're here with the Pod Squad doing things. I look forward to getting you on the mic on some of these shows in the future again. So, listeners, keep an eye out for Brenton McMusiclover. He's going to be coming through here. Maybe, just while we're out here in this small, cute town with nature all around us, something I'm fascinated by you is your interest in falconry. Could you maybe share with the show your interest in falconry and raptors?
Sure, yeah. So, I've loved birds my whole life, and I've felt connected spiritually to, raptors, specifically hawks. Or buzzards is the actual proper term. And my grandpa and I used to watch the birds in his backyard growing up, and I loved it. My daughter is named after him with her middle name, Olivia Ray. So Ray was my grandpa. We used to watch the birds together. I fell in love with bird watching as a child, and then grew up. And a lot of folks I know are fantastic artists. One of whom is one of the best nature photographers in the whole country. His name's Jordan West, and he takes incredible photography. On Instagram, JTW86, check that out. He's got a fantastic page. He's always at Spring Grove Cemetery, beautiful green space in Cincinnati, taking amazing photos of raptors and other birds and
Botanists love that place all over the world.
wild species. And started photographing them, got deeper into it, found out about the Ohio School of Falconry. It's one of the only falconry schools in the entire country. In the entire state of Ohio, there's 100 licensed falconers. So if I become one, which I plan to eventually, I would be 101.
You'll be Brenton Music Lover 101. What do you think of that 101?
And that is the name of the class that I signed up for, was Falconry 101, ironically. So
Break the code.
it's a really cool.
Break the code.
It's a really cool school, Ohio School of Falconry. They're also on Instagram, ohioschoolfalconry.com. Joe, Dorian, and the people that work there, all amazing. Very much a nonprofit. They all do it for the love of the birds. I don't think any of them are making money. So
Yeah, I got to shout.
What can you do when you're a falcon?
it's an ancient sport. You can go out and you can hunt prey.
It's like how nuns that
Yeah,
lived, like
you can-
they would go out and
No,
take a falcon
I
to
can.
get a rabbit.
What you will learn to do is go out, trap your own bird in the wild, train it to hunt for you, and then it's your bird. You
They
name
hang
it,
out with you.
it lives with you.
It go
Yeah,
get you
we
a
used to
rabbit.
hunt with certain animals, right?
Yeah.
Or like we were working together.
Pretty
I
amazing.
worked with the
Yeah.
coyote pack, or some people work with
Jeez.
snakes. It's like
So
falconry's like one
yeah,
that's still
so the
there.
novices
It's
start with a kestrel
Like He-Man.
or
So
a
what
red-tailed
today?
or a red-tailed hawk. Those are the two beginner.
Okay.
And the reason why is because they're so easy to train.
Well, kestrels
A
are
ha-
so
an
tiny.
owl-
How much does a kestrel weigh? Can you approximate that?
Oh my God.
like an ounce?
Grams. I don't even.
Yeah, it's good in grams.
I don't know how many grams.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, it's very intriguing. Owls are the hardest to train. So if you're that stubborn that you're so set on being an owl falconer, it would take you 8 months to train that
You
owl.
gotta do that at night, right?
A red-tailed hawk takes 4 weeks to train.
Wow.
So
At any age, or is it better to get them when they're young? Do you climb up and get to the eagle's nest, eat a few eagles' eggs for nutrients, and then collect one to incubate? How do you do this?
none of that. No, not at all.
Sorry, that was Nacho. I think Nacho Libre did something like
You're just trapping the bird. Yeah, you're gonna set a trap that doesn't harm it.
like a volleyball net or something in the trees. Or I'm
Yeah.
just like, hey, my imagination.
Exactly.
I won't
Stick
we
to the
all have-
moss, man. Stick to the moss.
All right, so once you got it, I got my moss, you got your falcon, we're doing good.
Is there any
Absolutely.
relationship to carrier pigeons or how they used to send messages? And it seems astounding to me. Like you see it, like they give the bird, they put a bird message on a bird.
Yeah.
Can you?
No, I mean
That
it's
still
the same
happens?
kind of
People
thing.
do that?
The mascot for the Ohio School of Falconry delivers wedding rings.
Oh, wow.
The owl, Henson the owl, he
wow.
delivers wedding rings. People hire the school
Oh, we
to
gotta get them to deliver
fly
something
their
somewhere.
wedding rings to the
What?
altar.
This is, how much
Yeah.
does it cost to hire?
I don't know how much.
Oh,
I
we
don't know
gotta
how
do
much
it.
that experience is.
Oh man.
but
Can I
need
train
that.
an
it is an
owl to
it is an
steal
available
people's wedding
service at the Ohio School of Falconry
rings? Send in the
out of
wrong
Columbus,
owl.
Ohio. Yeah, absolutely. So it's fascinating. The Harry Potter owls. This is very much real. Those are very much trained owls that are just flying around in the movie.
Yeah, check out Brenton McMusiclover's videos on his Instagram account. He's got great music like the Elf Love mixed with, I love the slow-mo ones where that hawk is just coming at you and you're just standing with your killer Brenton stare down. I don't know if the hawk's flying at you or if you're flying at it and it's standing still and the rest of the world's moving you towards it.
I don't know that I can relate the experience of a hawk flying to your glove from the tree, just in the field, to anything else.
What's connection?
pretty wild. And then there is, and there's things that they'll do like after a while the bird will bow to you, like it'll bow to you, and when it does, that's when it's saying, "I trust you." You're my human now.
Are there
and like.
Are there motions you give back to it in communication?
You
that?
can't really touch it. The expression even keel is a real falconry term. When you touch the bird, you feel its keel, which is its breastbone, and you're feeling it to determine how balanced it is. If that keel is big, it's fat. That bird's not, that's lazy. It's not going to hunt, right? And then if it's too scrawny or too skinny, you gotta boost its. You gotta give it some boost to its diet so that it has the energy to go out, because that's malnourished, right? Wow. So it has to have a literal even keel. You guys didn't know that's actually a falconry term you've been using your whole life. But yeah, you have to have an even keel for that bird to hunt and be successful in flight, And there's all kinds of things that you have to worry about.
The number one keel was a boat thing, but that's fascinating.
The number one killer. The number one killer of birds and raptors and out of everything that could possibly kill them.
I have a feeling there's something to do with humans.
No, good guess.
Turtles.
Cats.
Cats.
A single cat swipe, that gives us cat scratch fever, will kill a bird.
Oh, wow.
Just from
like
the
a
infection.
single swipe, just a single, if the cat gets that bird at all.
What?
Yeah, if it swipes it at all and it scratches it,
Kind of surprised
it's
that
probably
many
gonna die.
birds are flying close to cats.
Yeah, and they've taken out more songbirds and bird species than any other thing. So cats have actually made more birds go extinct than humans or anything else on the planet.
How about the raptors? Like, are there a good
Cat
number of them
predation.
that-
Keep your cats inside, people.
Can the raptors eat? There's some
my
raptors
cat
that
needs to
eat
go
cats.
outside, man. my cat is my friend. You know what I mean? My cat started hunting with me like your falcon. I'm telling you, it started bringing presents in.
Yeah, of course.
to
He's
me,
presenting
and
them to you.
Yeah, and it would go out, and you know what I mean?
They want you to be proud.
And then when I'm out back, there's a lot of raccoons and things back there.
We'll chase them.
He goes around
Yeah.
and keeps everything away, I swear.
There's an amazing.
Pack of coyotes.
Sorry
that
about your
dropped it
birds,
off.
though, but
No,
my cat's my homie.
There's an amazing
Thomas.
there's an amazing documentary on it's called The Lion in Your Living Room. And check that out.
Okay,
Yes,
like that.
that's what a cat is essentially. It's
Wow,
a
eating
little
lions
lion that
meat.
lives in your living room.
That is allowed to go outside if it wants to. That's all I'm saying, man.
Yeah, so they have so they actually have a beat that they walk. So cats, when they go outside, when they're outside, cats like yours, they have a literal route that they take, and it's however many feet around the home place, right? And they know their home place, and if they don't, it's because they just moved into it. So a lot of times what people will say to do with cats, if they're outdoor cats and you just moved into a home, is put butter or coconut oil on the bottom of their paws, because when they rub it on the floors, it smells, right? And they remember that smell so they can actually find their way home, because they're not associated with that house yet.
Is that just a trick to get raptors to eat the cats because then they have oil on them and they taste better?
Raptors,
I don't know about it.
Raptors don't want to contend with cats unless they absolutely have to, and even then, any single swipe. The reason a bird kills is to protect itself. A bird is not like a human. A bird could give a crap less if the thing is alive and wriggling, if it's going to eat it or not.
Do you know much
The
about-
only reason a bird kills something is so that it's protecting itself from that bird, or whatever it is, defending itself against the bird and hurting the bird in any way.
What about griffins? Do you know much about them? They're kind of like cats and bird raptors at the same time, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think about
The
that?
mythical
What's up with
creatures.
that? Is that something besides coconut oil that stuck them together?
Kind of route they were on. And they just were guided by mushrooms one day, and they're like, I am now a griffin. And they launched off and maybe made some gargoyles along the way they don't know about, but they just kept going. What do they do? You know much about?
Come on, you gotta look into that if you haven't. We'll catch that.
I have to do more griffin.
Next episode, we'll get into some.
I need
griffin
more research on my griffins.
We'll have a griffin.
But getting back to the cats, what they'll do is they'll walk a beat. So when cats get into a fight, it's because the other ones are just crossing their path on the beat, essentially. Yeah.
Sometimes I hear when cats are fighting, they're actually
They're not
making
like
love.
seeking that out necessarily. They're just defending their turf that they
like
walk
people.
day to day. All right.
Well, that's some cool stuff for
We
all you out
covered some
there
cool
making
stuff.
homesteads
But
and
we
doing
have
farms.
another
You know,
important
we
question. We were asking a bird
Oh.
question on the way here. We're wondering, like, why do eagles like to kill turtles?
Yeah, do you know much about why eagles like to
That
kill
is
turtles?
a great question. And I don't.
It's like there's like a mystery.
They
There's some
prefer
reason-
turtles?
Yeah. Well, I think it goes back to a long time ago when the turtle shell actually used to be able to turn into a parachute, but somewhere along the way that it didn't evolve right. So like there was this, actually the turtle originally asked the eagle to drop them from up high because that was the only time that a turtle could go fast. But eventually the parachute evolved out and now the eagles just drop them and they go down looking for their friend. They can't find them a lot of times because they end up going into the trees through the canopy or something. It's
Makes
like, where
sense.
did my friend go?
Right.
What happened to the parachutes on turtles? You know, that maybe there's fossil evidence or something like that, or maybe there's a mushroom that can help save
It's
the
like
turtles.
those fireworks when they go up and then the parachute doesn't deploy.
Oh.
You know, and it just comes back down.
Yeah, it's
You're
a,
like, wow, that was kind of disappointing.
we'll have to bow to them or
What's
something.
up with
let
that?
them know, communicate to them somehow.
What's up with fireworks that don't work correctly? What's up with accidents?
I don't know. People need to develop their own turtle shells or something.
Yeah,
Watch out
turtle
that
shells.
that are working with fireworks.
I think mushrooms and turtle shells are definitely a solution to fireworks.
Yeah, I think so. I think if they had mushrooms included in fireworks when they exploded and the spores would go out and create beneficial like results and residues on the
Yes.
ground, that could be a really good thing, and it might keep them from having any fireworks that are duds.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're called, duds.
Yeah,
That's actually like
that's great.
Wake the farm up. Awesome. Well, thank you
Thanks.
so much, Brenton.
Yay!
You know what,
For helping us be here
I'm in
today.
the mood to like get some music up in here again. I know you're a music lover. Like, let's see if we can get some Sarah Gorak up here on some with her. She's got two.
On your way out, I'm gonna play a song that feels like it's like your graduation song when you and the bird really get together, and you guys are like, you're really feeling it.
Let's give it up
Yeah.
for Brenton McMusiclover, manager of Wake the Farm Up podcast. I kind of want to get a gyro now. Anybody want to go get some euros? Like we'll get a
Don't talk
euro
about-
falafel sandwich or something.
Wait a minute, give me that.
Feeling good. You guys feeling good
We
out
were
here,
on
Yellow
something.
Springs? You get a good
We
time
were
in here.
on
This is some
something.
surprise fun stuff down here for some of you guys. This is Wake the Farm Up podcast.
I meant G
We're having
minor.
fun down here at RoseNSal. We're,
Hey.
you know, it makes sense. This is the coolest vintage shop in the world. You know, this is like a vintage podcast 30 years from now. So you're getting to enjoy it right now. What the fuck?
Hey, working like it's Bob Ross. We working like it's Bob Ross. Working like it's Bob Ross. We working like it's Bob Ross. Hey,
Cooking the shroom. Cooking the shroom. Cooking the
hey, this
shroom.
is inspired by our talking today.
Little tree.
It's fresh and new.
Little tree.
Working like it's Bob Ross.
Mushroom and spaceships. What?
Working like it's Bob Ross. Hey. Working like it's Working like it's Working like it's
I'm gonna wear that.
Working like it's Bob Ross.
I'm gonna wear that mushroom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wear that mushroom too. Cooking with mushroom.
Working like it's Bob Ross.
Cooking with shroom.
Working like it. Hey.
Come on.
Working like it's Bob Ross. Working like it's Bob Ross. We be working like it's Bob Ross. Gotta work it like it's Bob Ross talking. Gotta lick it like it's Bob Ross walking. Gotta see him petting brush, yeah, we walking. Gotta make that room there where we talking to a girl. What they gotta see with that Bob Ross, he be making ecstasy. He be running through the land, it's be prophecy. He be making with his hand what you gotta see. It's a light work it, Bob Ross, let him work it. He like work it, Bob Ross, gotta work it. He a working Bob, he like working Bob. He like working Bob Ross, gotta work it back. What you got for him, L.A.? Get like it's Bob.
Yeah, working like Bob Ross down in the little trees, getting up off my little old garden knees, go and take a walk down to the glen. Maybe I'll stick my head under that yellow spring and I'll get me a little bit of things to bring in a little basket. Maybe I'll find some mushrooms, some Ganoderma. You know, it's good for my... You know what I was about to say, because I didn't even need to say it, because I'm keeping things kind of clean back here in this place, because we'd be getting dirty later, we'd be riding dirty, no, we'd be riding clean. We know how to make sure everything's be picked just fresh and nice, and if we don't, we'll make sure we get out there and we'll be cleaning it and taking it to the food pantry, guided by mushrooms, making sure every pantry's got a bank full of shrooms, that'll be making sure everybody's got the nutrients they need. How they
Bob Ross. We working like it's Bob Ross.
With the little trees.
Working like it's, work it. Yeah, we working like it's Bob Ross.
Yeah, where you gonna get those holes in your jeans?
Little tree. Maybe put a little mushroom underneath the hemlock tree. Maybe put a little ocean in Cincinnati. Little tree. Happy accidents.
With the light
Tiny trees.
Yeah, work it like it. Work it like it's Bob Ross. Work it. Yeah, we work it like it's Bob Ross. Work it like it, Bob. Work it like it, Bob. Hey. Now stroke it with that brush. Yeah, stroke it. Yeah, we stroke it with that brush. Yeah, we smoke it. Yeah, we stroke it with that bush. Yeah, we smoking. Yeah, we stroke it with that bush. Yeah, we smoking now. Yeah, we stroke it with that brush. Now we smoking that. Now we chilling with that brush. Now we rocking it. Now we smoking with that brush. Yeah, we rocking it. Yeah, we chilling. Here we go. What you talking about? Here a violin.
in the moss.
Freestyle session. If you got something to say about Bob Ross, or some words about stroking or smoking or going at it and get it going, that's just how we do it. Hey, gotta hear a little singing,
you know, maybe after that, we're gonna walk down to the Glen and we're gonna mob that moss. We're gonna be getting up all close in it, looking how it comes and toss and collects the thing. Have you ever been to an oxygen bar? Stick your nose up in some moss. It's free, it ain't proprietary. Everybody can stick their nose up in some moss. And then maybe it's liverwort. Maybe you don't know the difference. That's not a moss. Maybe it's lichen. Maybe you liken that. Stick your nose in that. It's antiseptic. You know, there's reindeer moss. It ain't a moss. There's Spanish moss. It ain't a moss. It's lichen. Crazy, but you can call it a moss. Thank you very much.
Work it like it's Bob with the Bob Ross. Work it like it's Bob with that Bob Ross. Work it like it's Bob, yeah, that Bob Ross. Work it like it. Get up here, get on the mic. Hey, we gotta work it on the mic. Hey, we got Brenton on the mic.
Bob Ross moss.
What?
With that Bob Ross moss.
With that Bob Ross moss.
With that Bob Ross moss.
With that Bob Ross.
Inoculate that shit with some wine caps. That Bob Ross moss.
tree sap.
Inoculate that shit with some wine caps. King Strafaria for that ass. Yeah.
Bob Ross Mountain.
You're the
Hey,
preacher
Bob Ross Mountain.
with the golden teeth.
We be Bob Ross shouting, coming from that Bob Ross Mountain. Yeah, we be Bob Ross Mountain with that Bob Ross shouting. See you know we coming, man, we climbing like mountains. Gotta clean, gotta shine, gotta know we eating mushroom. No one gonna see, gonna hit it, boom.
Kicking like toadstool in the cart, driving down the toadstool. I've rescued a princess, you know, but I'm just a toadstool. I need to go rescue Bob Ross and make some little trees be happy, turn into big trees. Yeah.
This is smoking like it's Bob Ross.
Little tree.
I hope you've enjoyed this freestyle.
Yeah, RoseNSal, what's up, Yellow Springs, Ohio? We're having some fun. There's gonna be some good comedy and things come in. We got some good like fires and flames out here. So let's see what's out. No, we got it. We're gonna be getting into it here. Thanks for coming out to the Wake Farm recording. We got a bit of time here. If anybody wants to jump in on a mic up here, we got combos. Subscribe.
I want to hear about some other
wanna hear some-
personal mushroom experiences.
Yeah, put them on the reviews of the show. You know, if you got some cool mushroom experiences, I love that concept. Just put it at that.
We'll see what
Yeah, you want to
yeah.
come up and
Hey.
he likes them on his salad.
Want to hear about it?
I want to come up here. You got a minute to share with
Are you ready to
wake
party
the farm
tonight?
up.
We
need
going
a-
into the night. We want to call y'all out. Where you headed?
I need a
Are
fresh
you ready to
mushroom
party
recipe.
tonight?
I need a fresh mushroom recipe. I need to throw these things on my salad, you know. And all right, so we're at the top here, you know. Wait, we got a guest microphone. Is that thing on? There's a switch on it there. We got to switch it. Introduce yourself so I can be like, hey, bud. Yeah, flip it upside.
Yep.
There we go. There you go. It's magical recipe.
Shiitake.
Yeah.
Shiitake. Shiitake, take. In my salad. I like how it goes with my carrots and my celery and all that good stuff.
Shiitake, it make me walkie. Then I go get me some of my tarky from the bottom of the oak tree. The right time, maybe get a little chanterelle. Yeah, I shall trail. Don't tell me that chanterelle. I'm gonna trail on that and put it in my salad. My salad. I'm gonna eat it by the coolest vintage shop in the world.
Shiitake. In my salad.
Stand over there.
It's all good for my brain. It's all good for my brain. It's all good for my body.
Woo! You ready to party tonight? Yellow Springs is Friday night. Yeah. Okay. Yep. We cut back. Cut it back.
I think we had another. Can we get you up to talk about your personal mushroom
It could be
story?
a haiku. It could be a haiku, and you don't even have to share your name. You can be an alias.
At this point,
Are you ready
you
to
can
party
follow
tonight?
any of the threads.
Yeah. You can jam. You can converse. It's free flow. We can sit 2 minutes for you. You want that? Yeah. He wants the 2 minutes for this.
2 minutes.
The 2 minutes you gotta share
So
your
I
name.
missed the start of Guided by Mushrooms, but have you read The Entangled Life?
The Entangled
Yes.
Life?
The Entangled Life, and it's all about mushrooms by a mycologist from the UK named Sheldon Mandrake. I know that.
Sheldon Mandrake. Goldstick knows it.
Yeah. And so when you speak about mycoremediation, my only experience with it is I'm a geologist and I work in environmental remediation, and I'm dying to use it.
That rocks, dude.
And I'm dying to use it. So I'm just waiting for an opportunity. So if I know about a provider for like the materials for mycoremediation, I want to talk.
Let's do it. We got a powwow coming here. We're going down to the Glen, looking at moss, and we're talking about micromediation boss work.
Yes. I'm ready.
He's ready. We need to scale up. Let's scale up. Let's scale up.
Okay, scaly, like ripping. They have scales.
Like a scaly ink cap.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's do that. Let's do that. We'll share info.
Yeah.
So there's mushroom to talk about things around the realm of fungi. You seem like a fungi, just classic stuff.
Fungi.
So what brings you? Like, are you from Yellow Springs, or where did you come from? You get one of those mushroom spaceships here?
I took the mushroom spaceship, and it was thermally insulated.
That's incredible.
Yes.
Yeah, you look like you survived the trip through the
I
atmosphere
survived,
just fine.
and it was not too hot.
Yeah. So any messages from the intergalactic story realms?
Oh.
On their way in through here, you know.
No, but we have my wife and I have a history here in Yellow Springs. Oh, nice. And Patty used to work in the Glen.
Okay.
But it's been a long time since we've been here, and now we live in South Bend, Indiana.
Okay,
Yeah.
fellow Hoosiers there. I live in southern Indiana, so.
Okay, where are you
Which
at?
is actually the southern part. South Bend's in the north, which is funny.
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
on the Michigan border.
Sure. Yeah, so you know how the Michiganders like to show you their hand where they live, you know? So I'm like down here in the forearm, the bottom of the forearm.
Yeah, you are.
Of Michigan, Indiana there. So that's like the forearm thing again. Which I do when we're going to catch that, you know, but tell us some more of your mushroom experiences, or maybe even your geology. I'd love to hear a piece on geology. I know we talked about local fossils and things like that, but you know, the limestone and the different things.
Sure, yeah, I love it. I work more on soils and groundwater.
Okay.
And so that's my take on geology.
So you can understand like where people are drilling for wells and stuff, like you can kind of douse. Can you douse?
Yep, and yes, yes.
You can, okay.
I have done that.
Cool.
But also, I have, so I've worked like 20 years in environmental remediation. So projects where there's, like you mentioned, the Ohio spill along the rail line. So I've worked on subsurface environmental contaminant spills, and that's what I
That's
work
incredible,
with.
yeah.
That's where I want to use
Cleaning
mushrooms.
Cleaning up their messes.
Yeah, that's why I'm so intrigued, because I'm dying. I'm waiting for an opportunity.
It's so different than like dilution is the solution, which is like the old way of cleaning up a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just clean it up for real.
Yep.
Instead of like convincing everybody they need to go and buy their own water filter for their house.
Right.
Let's clean it up in the first place so everybody has it. We don't have to change our filters.
Yeah, why do we have to do that? Yeah.
We didn't get your name though.
Yeah, I'll give it all. Yeah.
You want to share it with the world, the galaxy,
My name is Bill Carbon.
Bill Carbon.
Yeah.
Like, that's an incredible name. You want to give us with the Carbon Bill? We have the picture. Wake the farm up. What? This is incredible.
This is awesome.
Thanks for being here. Yeah, look forward to having fun with you here in Yellow Springs. It's going to be a fun night down here. Yeah.
Gotcha, man. Yeah, they gotcha, man. Yeah, they tell us now who to defend. Gotcha, man. Yeah, they gotcha, man. Yeah, they gonna snap who to defend. Gotcha, man. Yeah, they gotcha, man. They gonna tell us now who defend us. Gotcha, man. Hey, gotcha, man. Yeah, they gotcha, man. Gonna tell Ganja man got to tell us now where the blender. Ganja man, yeah, the ganja man got to tell us now who the fender. Ganja man, yeah, the ganja man got to tell us now who the fender. Ganja man, yeah, the ganja man gonna tell us now where the blender. Ganja man, yeah, the ganja man got to tell us now where the blender. Ganja man, yeah, the ganja man.
Yo, Yellow Springs, wake the farm up. We're gonna wrap up this show here in a moment, but first we got a few more fun treats. We're gonna catch another song from Sarah Gorak, one of the ones that she wants to choose to share with us. So I'm excited. That was a nice, fun, cut-up freestyle session. Steppin' 101. My boy, been with the live show podcast since day one. Check out the show. Check out some of the old episodes. See how the show's grown and evolved, the places that we've been, the farms, the music, the people.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate you.
Science will save the world. Science, the intellectual interpretation of nature, will save the world. Desalinization, science, intellectual interpretation of nature will save the world.
The magic of the real world. The magic.
Thank you.
Hey, ganja man, yeah, the ganja man gonna tell us now where to get it. Ganja man, yeah, the ganja man gonna tell us now where the blender. Ganja man, yeah, the ganja man gonna tell us now how to get down. Ganja man, yeah, the ganja man gonna tell us now who defend us. Ganja man, yeah, the ganja man gotta tell us now how to get down. Ganja man, yeah, the ganja man gonna tell us now who defend us. Ganja man, to the ganja man,
the ganja woman, the ganja woman.
Living complacent, but I done run out of patience. Feels like the prayers I've been praying. Yeah, they be sucking the bass. Seen them lacing the paces. Put a pause on this reality. Maybe thinking you know it, but you surely don't know me. I'm a writer and a king with a dollar and a dream. See for many miles of the lies and all the schemes. Operation installation in the memory. Come on, see my blood is red. I need the air I breathe. I see no rivals, no disciples flying high up on your kite. Though that's alright, though that's your right. Don't know you might, though, and it will not go away. Hey, knowing you're okay. Hey, so we ask the ganja man, yeah, the ganja man, who defend us. Is that it? Are we done?
Are we done? No, we wrapping it up. We got some loops coming in here. Steppin' 101, check this out. Are we done? Are we done with this slide? Are we done with this slide? Are we done? Are we right? Are we all alright? Are we done with this slide? Are we done? It's alright.
So give it up for Steppin' 101. Wake the farm up. How y'all doing in Yellow Springs? Coming in through the shop. The coolest vintage store in the galaxy. The world.
We're gonna do one more.
We got a new song coming fresh.
We got, no, it's fresh.
You on? Yeah. All right, let's all give it up for Sarah Gorak.
All right. Okay, so I need some audience participation for this one. Yeah. So this is a mashup of a song that I wrote, and there's a chorus, but then I figured out that the chorus of a really popular song that you probably maybe know can be added to it, and goes with the message behind it. So hopefully you'll catch on and you'll figure it out. And if not, the cool thing is the part of my song that I'm sharing, it's called, or I'm calling it Presence Strengthens. But it's based off of a Hawaiian proverb that translates as absence sharpens love, presence strengthens. So that's basically all that it is. So if you only catch that part of the mantra, that's going to be your little mantra to leave with today, of reminding ourselves that, we could be stuck doing anything else, but isn't it cooler when we get to be together in community like we were talking about earlier? So that's kind of the point of this song, is to enjoy being present with other people. And that's how we can share love and spread the gospels of mushrooms and birds and everything. Okay, so you'll catch on. Yeah.
That's so subversive. What?
Better give him one more. So.
Yes. You gonna just hit a loop on what we just did? What? Let's jam that. Oh, she's pulling out her other forearm now.
I know I didn't get a chance to play the other one, so I'll do the other instrument. So this is for people who can't see it. Oh yeah, I could go over there, I guess. For people who can't see it, this is I actually didn't even know this instrument existed until like maybe 2 years ago. It's called a guitar ukulele. So it's actually tuned like a ukulele, or ukulele if you pronounce it in Hawaiian. Which actually, if you're curious, anytime you're trying to pronounce a Hawaiian word, just pretend it's in Spanish. It's the same vowel structure. So that's why it's ukulele. Yeah.
The first time.
So the top strings are tuned like a ukulele, but they have 2 lower strings. So it has a bigger range. So it's kind of like up in the ukulele range, but a little bit higher than guitar. But since I have 6 strings, I can do guitar shapes and ukulele shapes. So yeah, it's a fun little thing. Let's see. Do you want to do one of my songs or? Okay. So let's see. I'll end with this one because, I don't know. Yeah, I'm feeling like this one. Because this is probably one of the first songs I wrote. I didn't actually even plan to be like a songwriter. But again, like what I mentioned earlier, it's kind of like part of discovering your own musical voice is recognizing you're the only person who's in charge of the story you get to live. And isn't that pretty cool? Like, you could be anything. You could be a falcon. You could be a mushroom. But you're you. And you're the only person who gets to be you. So that's what I wrote this song kind of about. The chorus is the question, in what ways would the world be different if I wasn't born? So, you could have been born as anything, but you get to be you. So that's the point of this song. This is called Remus. My joy would be missed. I wouldn't have been dissed by the enemy's kiss. So many times to count. My life's plan would be out. I would never have God. You can add to it to know just how loved I'd be, and be loving for somebody. In what ways would the world be different if I wasn't born? I'd really just be simply a plant, nothing more. Just a table scratch in the trash. Surely I'd be missed, but who knows? I never was kissed by his loveliness, instead lost in the abyss, simply never found, just a remiss of his loving bliss. In what ways would the world be different if I wasn't born? I'd really just be simply a plant, nothing more. In what ways would the world be different if I wasn't born?
They're like wanting a whole set now. They're going crazy out here, but I know we're running out of time. We got some other things we gotta do down here. We gotta go check out some furniture, and I need to get in this closet still over here at RoseNSal's. And eventually I need to get down to the Glen and check out some moss. So if y'all want to do any of that, including the closet, whatever, I'm all down, you know. We can kind of go have our little, we're just gonna be guided by the mushrooms and the moss. So shout out for everybody that threw down today. Thank you all for coming. Once again, Brenton McMusiclover, thanks for helping put this all together down here. My boy Stepper 101, making some sound. My hotel lives here, keeping this thing cultivating in good directions always. Love you all, appreciate you all. Check out more episodes, support the show, find ways to get involved and be part of the Podsquad. Love y'all. Peace. Wake the mom up.
And everyone headed off to the Glen and happily skipped away forever after. Yeah, these are fairy tales, but this isn't no fairy tale. This is Wake the Farm Up. I hope you enjoyed that live episode. It's absolutely amazing, fun stuff to be doing. Support the show. Come to a live show sometime. Subscribe. Check out our website. Check out our Instagram. See where we're at. See what we're doing. Enjoy the show. We want to hear from you. We want your voice on the microphone. Come on. Let's go. Wake the farm up. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum.